What can I say, folks? We were shadow banned, as producer Roley would say. We're back. Harrison Graham here on Chicago Bears Now. Our software just completely crashed, so we are back at it, though. Appreciate the patience as we are getting going here. Not waiting until 4. I just picked a schedule time. That was not it was just the first number that popped up, so I knew we were going to be live before then. A couple updates. We were at $111 in Super Chats. That will carry over toward the 1,000. Also, Glock sent in a 5 right as the thing crashed, so it actually cost 10, but I'm going to give him a pour anyway. Since we can't get that Super Chat on screen, it is lost in the abyss. But we're back. We're better than ever, hopefully, and we got a lot of stuff to do. Rolly's actually got to review a bunch of graphics while we're going through this, so go ahead and be patient with us. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. Steven says, I know what happened. Rolly, those shots hit a little too hard. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. If you guys don't hear or see from Rolly, he's working through some tech stuff, so that's why. Mike says, hey, Harrison. What's up, Mike? Appreciate you tuning in. Jaron, what happened? Software completely crashed. That happens every once in a while, unfortunately, but that is what happened. F. Karen Rodgers. Yeah, let's just rally together and blame Aaron Rodgers for this. I mean, there's just no other explanation when we really do think about it. Ron says bear down. Let's see. What's going on? Site says private. Hit refresh. I think I accidentally briefly made it private, but it is public. It is public. I was trying to make the old stream private, but this one is public. Everyone can see it. Just hit that refresh button. Let's see. Aaron is Karen. Levante says bear down. You mean Sharon Rogers also. That works. Bear down, Harrison. What's up, Philip? Appreciate your guys' patience. If you guys want to get in some questions or some super chats, I'll answer a few of those while Rolly gets some stuff in order behind the scenes, and then we will make it happen. Michael says third for Buckner. Listen, one outlet says it could cost even less. We're going to break that down here in a little bit as well. Let's see. Rogers with a D. He don't have my last name. Exactly. God Emperor Doom, FGB, what's up? Bear down from Terry. They still think they might lean toward Paris Johnson Jr. I think Paris Johnson Jr. is very much a candidate to be the pick at number 9, so we'll have to wait and see if that ends up being the case. Scott says bear down Chicago Bears. Exactly. Bear down Chicago Bears. Great song. Frank says Tyree Wilson. That could be a great pick at number 9. Greg and Ron saying FGB. Let's see. Nicholas says if we don't add a good enough tackle in the draft, can you see the Bears signing Isaiah Winter or Jermaine Illuminor? Both were decent on PFF. Illuminor actually got re-signed by the Raiders. That may not be updated on Spotrac, but he was re-signed by Vegas, so he's going back there. FGB from Frank. Who you drafting? If all things are equal, I'd probably lean Paris Johnson right now, but I don't know what Ryan Pohl's big board looks like, so I'd have to see. Mike says he's been leading a lot about Broderick Jones. Yeah, Broderick Jones, very athletic tackle out of Georgia. He could be in the mix. I would lean Paris Johnson out of those two, but Broderick Jones could be in the mix as well. Why don't you guys answer this question for me? What should the Bears do with the number 9 pick? Type T for trade or K for keep? We'll get some shout-outs going here. Ron says JSN at 9. Anthony says Witherspoon? Maybe. Could happen. James wants to trade the pick, so does Dawson and Phillip. Levante wants to keep it. Jesse wants to keep it. Elbert wants to trade it. Terry and Bashi want to keep it. Mike says keep. Michael says trade. Chris says keep. Steven says trade. Greg says trade. Phillip says keep. Let's see. Let's see here. Ron says keep. CJ says keep. Chris says trade. Corey says trade. Raymond says trade. Willie Bear says trade. Let's see. Detroit period. Don Burr has made his way back. Frank says keep. Graham says keep. JJ says keep. Tyler says keep. Detroit got it. That's good. Wasim says Paris Johnson Jr. Trade for Simmons. A lot of Jeffrey Simmons ideas out there. There's no doubt about that. Brittany says Cansey. I like Elijah Cansey. I wouldn't take him at 9, but he could be a trade down option. Trade it for a bounty. Scott says trade. Rolly, do we have that super chat menu to remind the folks what's in store today? $10 and we're at 111. We're carrying that over. I'll pour a sip into here, and at the end of the stream, I got to chug this. We're doing Trulies today just because they're a little lighter. This carries 3 beers, so whichever happens first, end of the show, or this gets filled, I have to take it down. $20, we'll spin the roulette wheel. $50, you get a sticker on this, and hey, Steven sent in a sticker to put my son's name, PJ, on here. That appreciate that. He's going to be born before next Tuesday, which is why we're doing a longer show today, which is why I was bummed the first stream crashed. We're still going to get to everything, though. Justin Fields boot sticker for $50, like I said. Every $100, FGB on the skin. Already got it on there once. Once we get to 200, another FGB, another. I'll fill this up if I have to. Fill this arm up if I have to. 1,000 total. The bosses, one of whom is a Michigan super fan. Can't stand Ohio State and Justin Fields. He can't. They will have to buy a baby Justin Fields jersey for my son, who, again, is going to be born in the next week. No live show next Tuesday, so I want to have a blast this week because I'm going to be out next week as my son arrives. So that is kind of where we're at. If anybody wants to donate, we appreciate it. If not, no big deal, but appreciate all the support. I will say this, producer Rolly was on a show yesterday, Giants Now, with Marsh and the boys, that did 3.2K. Wow. Couldn't believe that. Greg says congrats. Appreciate that, Greg. Shout out to the people who super chat. I saw a couple people did the diaper fund. That's hey, can't get enough diapers, so appreciate that. High Life says congrats. Chi-Town says congrats. Appreciate that. You guys are real ones as always. Like the video. Let's get to 100 likes. Hit that like button. I'll tell you what, since the stream crashed, we'll make you a deal. Every 100 likes instead of 150, we'll spin the roulette wheel as well. Bonus spin for every 100 likes. We got 44 right now. 244 people watching live. So if you like the video, we will spin the roulette wheel at 100. Jesse says, name your baby Buttkiss. No, we got a name. PJ for short. Peter James, that's his name. Terry, Chicago Bears fan, saying congrats. Corey saying congrats. Shout out to official Big Ron. Buttkiss Graham goes hard. That's a pretty solid name. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty solid name. How we feeling, Rolly, about everything behind the scenes? I know we were scrambling like Justin Fields there for a little bit. Oh no, I think we're still scrambling. Are you back? All right,
so
you're back.
I got a couple news tidbits for you guys.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, you will not be seeing my face anymore. You can hear my voice, but you will not be seeing my face alongside the crashing. My camera also went out.
You got shadow banned.
So I am shadow banned. You will be able to hear me. I'll be able to talk with you guys, but I will not be on screen unless I come.
If he gets summoned to take shots, he'll come up here.
Yeah, so it's been a little bit of a hectic 15 minutes here, but I think we're in a decent spot. Anything I changed on read-only, Harrison, I'll have to just catch while it comes up because I don't remember what I did.
That sounds good to me. Anything that's full screen stuff too, we can always overlay if needed. All right, like the video. There's the update. Josh says, congrats, man. I have a baby girl coming in July. That's awesome, Josh. It's an exciting time. Let's see. That baby needs to wait till the 18th. Why the 18th? What's coming the 18th? Daryl?
I'm going to guess it's his birthday, and he wants to have the same birthday.
All right, Daryl. Well, I don't think it's going to wait. I don't think it's going to be that long. I'll just say that. In fact, there's no chance it'll be that long. No chance whatsoever. It is his birthday. Shout out Daryl. Happy early birthday. It's his birthday month. Brittany says, congrats. Just had our baby a week ago today. Shout out to Brittany. Hope you and yours are doing well. Hope you and yours are doing well. And Steven Rosinski is back, Rolly. Back and better. I kind of agree with him. Shots to recover, Rolly. You pour one, I'll pour one. Get up here. We gotta rip one. We just gotta laugh at this point, right? We need recovery shots. We need recovery shots. Shout out Steven. Shout out to Steven. Steve says, congrats, just found out this weekend my wife is pregnant with our first baby. Hey, love is in the air. Family is in the air. Rolly, I'm sorry you got shadow banned. You know, who knows what's going on. Jake's son is due in September. A lot of folks having babies out there. Abdominal moment. Daughter's due May 15th. Cheers. There's bigger things than crash streams. Not many, but there's a few bigger things in life. Shout out to all the future parents. That's exactly right, Levante. That's exactly right. Appreciate that, Daryl. Shout out Steven, our MVP so far. With that 20, that gets us to 131. 1,000's a long way away. We were rolling before, but then the damn thing crashed. But we're going to try and make this we're going to try and throw on our rally caps here. That's what we do here. That's what we do. Here's what's coming up live on the show, the latest Chicago Bears news and rumors. Live Q&A, hashtag Bears or Super Chat. If you Super Chat, you can jump to the front of the line as well. Todd McShay mock draft reaction. Also, NFL draft sleepers, 15 players that I think the Bears could take a look at that aren't getting hyped up as major draft picks. All of that and more is coming up on the show, so stick with us here on Chicago Bears Now. Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. Your boy is due for a trim here. Luckily, with Manscaped, I'm going to be able to trim this beard nice and tight very soon because of the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Get 20% off plus free shipping of all their men's grooming products by using code BEARS20 at manscaped.com. That is manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20, link in the description and comments of the video. All right, let's jump into today's show. Yes, we're talking DeForest Buckner once again because Bleacher Report cooked up a Bears-Colts trade that would land Buckner in Chicago. Obviously a player we've talked about a few times. He played under Flus in Indy. Here's the trade idea that they have cooked up, and I was a bit surprised by this. A fourth-round pick goes to Indianapolis, number 133 overall. DeForest Buckner back to the Bears, and my initial reaction is Buckner for a fourth? Yes, please, sign me up. I love DeForest Buckner. He's a really good player. Now, he's going to be 29. He's not, 25 years old like a Jeffrey Simmons, but a fourth-round pick for a player with this production, yeah, he's really, really good. He's going to give you 7 to 10 sacks from the interior, decent enough run stopper. You got Andrew Billings next to him as well. You get a guy like this with a fourth-round pick, you still have premium draft assets to go get an edge rusher or two, get your offensive lineman that you need, be flexible at other positions. And again, DeForest Buckner played under Matt Eberflus in that 2020 and 2021 season when he was the Colts defensive coordinator. I love this idea, to be quite frank. So what do you guys think? Who wins this trade between the Bears and the Colts? Type B for Bears or type C for Colts? I think the Bears win it in a landslide, although there are contract implications to consider. We'll discuss that after this question. B for Bears or C for Colts? Now, again, you look at this defensive line depth chart, and like I mentioned, you plug in DeForest Buckner where Justin Jones is there. You got Billings next to him as a run stopper. Jones becomes more of a rotation guy. You've got DeMarcus Walker, who would probably play more edge in this scenario. And then, ideally you add a top-tier edge in the draft, whether it's in the first or second round. Dominique Robinson, Travis Gibson can become more backup types. Now, the reason I think this trade idea becomes a fourth-round pick is because Buckner is a little older, like I said, 29, but also his cap hits are pretty significant. Like if the Bears trade for him, they would take on a $19.75 million cap hit this year and a $20.25 million cap hit. Now the Bears can absorb it, but if the Colts are looking to trade Buckner, they don't have a lot of suitors left because not a lot of teams have enough cap space like the Bears do, as they have almost $38 million in room still available. So they could take on Buckner and still have half their cap space available, essentially. You could go, you could have plenty of money to go pay your draft class, and then still some leftover money to either have during the year, contract extensions, whatever. Plenty to work with Ryan Poles. And another reason I think DeForest Buckner would be worth it in this scenario of a 4th-round pick is even though those cap hits are significant, the Bears have money, and he has a 0 dead cap penalty next year. Like, if you bring him in for a 4th and he's not that good, you didn't give up that much. You can cut him next year with no penalty, and you'd be fine. And if he is still really good, you could extend him, lower that cap hit for 2024. He's worth a 4th-round pick. Quite frankly, he's probably worth a 3rd. Now, the Bears pick at 64 in their 3rd-round pick. That's a high 3rd-round pick. But I think in most scenarios, he would be worth a 3rd because he is that productive. Subscribe to the channel if the Bears make a move like this, make a trade. We'll make a video. We'll go live as long as it's not during my week off. When my son gets born, which is going to happen pretty quick. So, hey, Poles, you're going to make a move, make it in the next couple days. Turn on those notifications. We'll have a video regardless, whether it's me or someone else in that scenario, and we'll keep you up to date with daily coverage. So don't miss a video. YouTube.com/BearsNow. Turn on that notification bell. All right, let's talk about a trade down scenario. Pro Football Focus, PFF, proposed a draft trade between the Chicago Bears and the New York Jets. And I thought it was a pretty interesting one, if I'm being completely honest with you. Here it is from PFF. The Bears received 13 and 43, so move down 4 spots, pick up a 2nd, 43 overall. Jets get 9 and 61. So you're moving down 4 spots in round 1, moving up 18 spots in round 2. That kind of seems on the money, right? Like, I think that's probably a pretty fair trade, all things considered. That being said, I don't really mind it. A lot of GMs, a lot of scouts are saying that the kind of sweet spot in this draft is between like 20 and 45. So if you move up from 61 to 43 and only have to drop 9 to 13, that could make some sense in this draft for the Chicago Bears. I don't mind this idea. Now, I think it would depend who's available at 9 when the Bears fall there. If there's multiple players on the board they really like there, then yeah, you can probably take that risk of dropping to 13. Now, if there's one guy they love there, but then the next group of 4, 5, 6 players are like, I don't feel great about it, then you may want to keep 9 and you make that pick, right? Because dropping 9 to 13, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 players are coming off the board before you pick, and if you only like one player there, then that's not ideal in that scenario. But if there's multiple players Ryan Poles likes in that range and he's okay dropping 4 spots, then he gets to move up 18 spots. I think that could make some sense. More thoughts, more to come here on Chicago Bears Now, but do want to shout out the Beard Hedger, the Pro Kit from Manscaped. Spring has sprung, and all of our friends at Manscaped have the best tools available for spring cleaning. They've already helped you tidy up all the nooks and crannies in your body's basement, but this year Manscaped can help you get the perfect presentation on that beautiful face with the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Make sure you look your best this spring by using code BEARS20 at manscaped.com. Beard like a pro with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. This kit comes with all kinds of stuff. You get the beard balm, the oil, the Beard Hedger itself, which has a rotary 20 rotary item on there, so you don't have all these attachable guards. You get the scissors, the comb, the shampoo, the conditioner, all in one bundle. And believe me, I'm a beard guy. I know what I'm talking about. Goodbye to multiple guards. That's awesome. And I've tried so many products over the years and have never really found anything that I like nearly as much as this. Your boy's due for a trim. I'm going to trim it up very soon, and I'll be able to do it in a timely manner with Manscaped. Promo code BEARS20, manscaped.com. Beard like a pro today as they are expanding their portfolio at Manscaped with more men's grooming products. Okay, let's take a look at the Bears draft picks, because again, in this trade down, you would get 13, you would move 9 and 61, you would also get 43. So just to kind of recap, you would now have 13, 43, 53, and 64. 4 picks in the top 65. I think that's pretty valuable. That allows you to be more flexible. You could trade up in round 2 even more. You could trade back later into the 3rd round if you want to do that. So you've got that flexibility if you are Ryan Poles. I think all things considered, without knowing who's available at 9, I definitely do not mind this trade idea. What do you guys think, though? I'll throw it back on the screen. Do you like this trade? Would you make this trade? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. If you'd rather just stay at 9 and make a selection there, that's certainly understandable. Y for yes, in for no. Would you make this trade? Go ahead and let me know. Speaking of the NFL draft, Myles Murphy, could he be an option for the Bears at number 9 or perhaps in a trade down scenario? He had his pro day on Tuesday, and he could rise up some boards based on how he looked in workouts. Jordan Schultz had this report saying that I'm told just about every NFL team was in attendance for Myles Murphy's pro day. The mammoth Clemson Edge, 6'5", 271, ran a 4'5", 240 and, quote, couldn't have had a better workout, one team just told me. He also added a quote from that person, position drills were impressive. You think about that speed at 6'5", 271 at 4'5", 2. That's like around what Jackson Smith and Jigba ran in his 40, guys. I mean, that's crazy for someone that big to move that fast. Now, the question is, when will Myles Murphy get drafted? Like, soon after the college football season, he was in that top 10, top 12 range for a lot of mock drafts. Then, for whatever reason, he kind of fell, started sliding down boards, like leading into the combine, coming out of the combine. Like, I would say most mock drafts I've seen him in the last 4 to 6 weeks have been in that 15 to 25 pick range. But could he get back into that top 10 with a strong pro day if he impresses in some interviews? I think it's possible. He's got the athletic profile. The problem with him is he's been inconsistent production-wise. Like, this isn't bad production, right? 40 tackles, 6.5 sacks, a forced fumble. Like, that's not bad. But with someone with that athletic profile, you're hoping to have that guy dominate at the college level. He was not dominant. He had his moments. He flashed dominance. But he was, an inconsistent player. Can he put it all together with NFL coaching? I think he could. He's got the makeup to do it. It's just a matter of going out there and doing it. Obviously, again, when you look at the Bears draft capital, you're thinking, okay, number 9 overall. Like, is Myles Murphy a top 10 guy? I think he's got that potential. I think you think back to, like, that Jets trade idea, for example, move back to, like, a 13, and if he's sitting there, like, I'd much rather trade down for him. I don't think I could take him at 9 right now. Like, again, I have to see who goes 1 through 8 and see who's available, but I would prefer to trade down for him. That's just me. Like, him or Tyree Wilson, I'd rather have Tyree Wilson. Him or Paris Johnson, I'd rather have Paris Johnson. Even like a Skoronski, I think I'd rather go that route. But Myles Murphy helped himself out with his pro day on Tuesday, and maybe, just maybe, he sneaks back up into that top 10 range. What should Chicago do with the number 9 pick in the NFL draft? What do you guys think? Type T for trade or K for keep the pick? I'm open to any scenario. I do know that Ryan Poles is not scared to make a trade, so don't be surprised if he moves down again. Now, subscribe now if you love the Bears and if you enjoy this channel. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that sub button. It's 100% free. Trying to get to 65,000 subs before the NFL draft. Bear down, FGB, subscribe. You guys know the drill. T for trade, K for keep. Ron says keep. Official Jesse say keep. Jim says trade. Amos says trade. Michael says trade. Tyler says keep. Chris says keep it. Red Taco says trade. Hunter says trade. Chris says keep. Vodge Tech says keep. John says keep. Official Zach says keep. Connor says keep. Glenn says trade. Dustin trade. Wasim keep. Christian, Mr. Perry, Zerg all saying keep. Martin says trade. So kind of all over the map there. So we'll see what ends up happening. Levante with the $2 super chat. He says Jeffrey Simmons and Buckner for the Bears defense. I don't think you would go both. They kind of both are 3-tech guys. So I don't think both Levante, but I think for sure one could be in play. We'll just have to wait and see if Poles has another big swing up his sleeve. But I would be shocked if both happen, because Buckner's got a big cap hit, and you'd have to commit to paying Jeffrey Simmons. They play virtually the same position. I just don't see that being the case whatsoever. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Get your questions on the show. We'll flash the Super Chat menu one more time real quick here before jumping into this mailbag, and then we will get after it here on Chicago Bears Now. But if you have a question, hashtag Bears or Super Chat. We'll get to as many of your questions as we possibly can. Someone says Brittany Griner. I don't think Brittany Griner is eligible for this NFL draft, but I will double check. Hashtag Bears, Super Chat. Get those questions in, and we will be good to go. Rolly, can we flash that menu one more time? And then we'll jump into this mailbag video. $10 will pour a sip into the boot. I got to chug this thing at the end of the show. It can either be this much. Every $10 super chat, we pour one. $20 will spin the roulette wheel, which we got to spin the wheel every 100 likes. We crossed 100. $50, you get a sticker on the Justin Fields boot. You can get your name on there. Every $100, I'll write FGB on my arm. Where are we at? We're about $68 away, so I'll write FGB once again next to this. And then if we get to 1,000 total, my Michigan fan boss will have to buy my son PJ a Justin Fields jersey. Long way to go to get to 1,000, but if you guys want to make my boss buy my son a Bears jersey, then that is how it can happen. 430 people watching now. Everyone's sending $2 right now. We'd get there if anyone is interested. All right, one more time. Hashtag Bears Super Chat. Then
we need a lot more questions.
Yeah, producer Rolly's saying we need a lot more questions.
I don't even think we'd be able to get through one. We want to do like 2 to 3 mailbags today.
A few mailbags today.
I only see one possible. Sad.
Yeah. End zone football, you did hashtag space bears. You can't do that. If you put a space between the hashtag and bears, it will not pop up in the software. So end zone, you got to put that B connected to the hashtag. That's how that comes in there. Why do you have Dom Rob starting over Gibson? It could go either way, Raging Oracle. Both were pretty bad last year. Take that depth chart with a grain of salt at the end of the day. Welp says, just had my first grandchild. His dad is a Whacker fan, but I call my grandson Baby Bear, and he will call me Papa Bear. I love it. That's electric. That's good stuff, Welp. That is good stuff. What do you think about D. Evans? If you mean Darrington Evans, yeah, he signed with the Colts, so good for him. He was better than Treston Ebner last year. I will say that. All right, there's a few questions in there. Hashtag Bears Super Chat. Let's get to this mailbag. Free agency questions, trade questions, draft questions. We do it all. Load them up. Let's get to these questions here on Chicago Bears Now. Welcome into Bears Now by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham. It's mailbag time here on the channel. So if you have any questions, use hashtag Bears or Super Chat. We'll get to as many of your questions as possible. We'll start with Levante Rogers, Simmons and Buckner for the Bears defense. I don't think there's any scenario where the Bears would trade for both Jeffrey Simmons and DeForest Buckner. One of them, yeah, I definitely think it's possible. Jeffrey Simmons, 25 years old, entering his prime, coming off a really good back-to-back 2 seasons. I definitely think he's appealing. You'd obviously have to commit to a big extension for him. Buckner, on the other hand, 2 years left in his deal, 0 dead cap hit for 2024, so if he didn't work out, you could just cut him next year. Obviously, Matt Eberflus coached him for a couple of years in Indianapolis, so there's pros and cons to both, and I would certainly be interested in trading for at least one of those. From Ken with the 20 Canadian dollars, I believe. Shout out, Ken. I'm starting to think Mooney is on the block. He isn't a polls pick and making JSN a big possibility. Look, if the Bears draft Jackson Smith and Jigba, you got to think there's at least a chance Mooney or Claypool gets traded because JSN obviously wouldn't go anywhere. You just drafted him. DJ Moore's not going anywhere. That was a big priority in the trade with the Panthers. Are you going to keep Mooney and Claypool? Like, is one of those guys going to be your number 4? They're better than that. Like, they can go be a 2 somewhere else. So I could see that, Ken. Him and Claypool are on the last year of their rookie deal. I could see Chicago dealing one of those guys away if they do draft Jackson Smith and Jigba. Where is the beef? Hashtag Bears. Matt Eberflus said he could see the Bears adding a veteran defensive lineman after the draft. Could that be Yannick Ngakoue or someone else? Yes, hopefully. That's my answer. Listen, I think that the Bears need to add another veteran defensive lineman. Eberflus, I think, alluded to the Colts adding Justin Houston when he first got there in 2019, and he had 2 good years in Indy. I think a player like Ngakoue could do the same here in Chicago. 1-2-year deal, bring him in, come rush the passer, and help kind of stem that gap on a short-term basis while you build this roster with young guys. So I'd like to see it happen. Will it happen? I'm not so sure. There's other guys out there that the Bears could consider bringing in as well. Here are like 5 edge rushers I'm intrigued by. Yannick Ngakoue, Jadeveon Clowney, Leonard Floyd, obviously maybe not a great scheme fit Frank Clark and Bud Dupree. If you're interested in any of those, let me know who. Type 1 for Yannick Ngakoue, Type 2 for Jadeveon Clowney, Type 3 for Leonard Floyd, 4 for Frank Clark, or Type 5 for Bud Dupree. Let me know who you would like to see the Bears bring in. From Michael Ortman, which cornerback will be available in the 4th round? I think a 4th-round guy, range guy at least. Corey Trice out of Purdue. He's 6'3", 205. Good length. He's a big sleeper for me. Like, I think he has starting potential in the NFL. Kind of broke out in his 5th year of college football last year. Good production, tested well. I like him quite a bit. I think he's a player to watch out for between now and the NFL draft. Cody Munson, if Tyree drops to 9, how do you pass on him? If he's not there, would you take Paris or trade back and take Smith and Jigba? Well, the question is, how far can you trade back to get Jackson Smith and Jigba? If you trade back to like 15, he could be gone. So keep that in mind. Tyree Wilson at 9, yeah, the value feels really good. If he's there, that's going to be tough to pass on him. I'm comfortable taking Paris Johnson there. But, yeah, drafting Tyree, Paris, Smith and Jigba, trading back, like all those options are on the table. You want flexibility, and the Bears have that. Wasim with the 10, all things equal, do you think SEC players are better than players from other conferences? Example, Ricky Stromberg versus Luke Weipler. I mean, I don't think Stromberg's better than Weipler based on the conference he played in. I would say in general the SEC produces the most NFL draft talent, but the Big Ten produces a ton. Other conferences do as well. In that case, I think a lot of scouts would actually go the other way. I think a lot would go Weipler over Stromberg. I actually do like Stromberg better, but it's not because of the SEC versus the Big Ten. I think they're both good players and could both start in the NFL, if not right away, maybe in year 2. Keem78, congrats HG, keep Terrell Lewis. Maybe he'll have a chance on the 90-man roster. Keem is referring to the fact that me and my wife are having a son very soon. Appreciate the love, Keem. We'll see how some of those deeper future contract guys fare this offseason as they try to fight for battle spots. Got to teach baby PJ the FGB mantra at a very young age. We'll keep the FPG. Forget Green Bay for his sake, but you guys know what it stands for. FGB, chatsports.com/FGB. Get a t-shirt today, less than $30. Join the movement here. My wife's been rocking my FGB t-shirt recently. She loves it. chatsports.com/FGB. Link is in the comments and in the description of this video. Peloton, is there a higher chance the Bears go corner in the 1st or O-line? I would say O-line, but I would not rule out corner. I think corner could happen. I think Ryan Poles has proven he'll probably stick to his big board pretty closely, especially early on in the draft. Let's just hypothetically, let's say Christian Gonzalez falls to 9 and he was Poles' 6th highest rated player on his board. Paris Johnson and Peter Skoronski are there, but they were 9 and 12 on his board. He'll probably take Gonzalez, or he'll trade back. I do think he'll stick to his board pretty closely, so don't be surprised by that. I know people were surprised last year when they went DB with their first 2 picks, Gordon and Brisker, but they're building the full roster still. They're not at a point where they can reach for picks. They just need to get good players. John Elia, am I wrong in saying we should go defensive tackle, right tackle, edge, and corner with our first 4 picks? Not particularly in that order. Yeah, in a perfect world, you would add 3 players in the trenches in a corner with your first 4 picks, which is 9, 53, 61, 64. But I think we all know better than that, right? There's probably going to be at least one trade in there based on what Poles has done. They'll probably take a player at a different position based on their big board. In a perfect world, the big board falls that way where they can just fill needs as well. But you get yourself in trouble as a young GM if you draft strictly for need. You got to get good players. Doesn't mean they're going to take a quarterback at 9 or something like that, but I think you got to build out the entire roster. From End Zone Football, do you think O-line or D-line is more important to the Bears right now? I love the content. Keep it up. I think, maximizing Justin Fields' potential this season is most important, so I'd go O-line. Long term, I think the defensive line has more holes to fill. You look at this defensive line, there's still an argument to be made that you don't have a single long-term player on this defensive line. Even DeMarcus Walker, who signed a 3-year deal, he could be here 2 years and cut. That's very realistic based on his contract. Dom Rob, Travis Gibson, young guys, There's no guarantees there. Billings is on a 1-year deal. Justin Jones has 1 year left on his deal. Like, at least with the Bears' offensive line, like you look at the O-line, you're like, Braxton Jones, he's got 3 more years on his rookie deal, and if he continues to improve, he'll get a second contract. Tevin Jenkins, if he continues to prove himself, he could be in line for a second contract. Now, beyond that, Nate Davis, you just gave a 3-year deal with 2/3 of the deal guaranteed, so he's going to be here at least 2 years, probably 3. So, yeah, I think protecting Fields is more of a priority right now, but long term, you need more help on the defensive line. Who's your squad? Who you repping this baseball season? Let's hear it. Producer Rolly is a huge baseball fan. I won't tell you his team because actually I don't think it would piss people off. He's a Mets fan. He's from upstate New York, so the Mets are his squad. But if you're rolling with the Cubs, type C. If you're rolling with the White Sox, type W. If you have a different squad, comment below. Let us know who your baseball team is this year. Baseball's underway. Curious to see what Bears fans are repping here. Chi-Town Bears time. What about Bijan in a trade back? Again, like if they trade back to like 16 and he's there and he's clearly the highest player on Poll's board, do not be shocked if they pull the trigger on that. Like, am I saying that's what I would do? Not necessarily, but I wouldn't not do it. I mean, just think about adding Bijan to this offense. I mean, Bijan Robinson could be absolutely explosive next to Justin Fields. You think about a Justin Fields, Bijan, Khalil Herbert, Deontay Foreman run down your throat offense. That's pretty exciting to think about. Bijan can catch the ball as well, and the fact that you have Herbert and Foreman too, you don't have to run Bijan into the ground his first year. You can kind of go by committee in that scenario because you've got depth at running back here. Even Travis Homer is a scat back. I don't know what Treston Ebner's future is. We'll see. You've got Blasingame who could blow people off the ball as a fullback. So, yeah, I wouldn't rule out the potential of drafting Bijan Robinson either. Martin Melhuse, Houston general manager Nick Caserio, picks Will Anderson at 2, then trades up to 3 to take his quarterback. Comments? I mean, that could be interesting. He could also take a quarterback at 2 and trade up to 3 to take Anderson. He could do it in reverse. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, maybe. I mean, he could do that. There's some buzz that the Texans may not go quarterback at 2. I think that would be a mistake, but maybe they won't. Who knows? The Beast Gaming, out of these 3 players, who would you like to extend? I think you meant Komet, Mooney, and Claypool. Assume they have solid years. I mean, if they all have good years, I'd probably want to keep them all, to be honest. If I had to pick 2, gosh. I think Komet for sure to keep him as your tight end, and then just whoever had the better year out of Mooney and Claypool. I like Mooney more right now, but if Claypool has a better year, I would probably go that way because he's 6'5", 235, and you don't have a receiver like that. So if Claypool outplays Mooney this year, I'd pick him. But if things were equal, I'd probably lean Mooney because he's been more reliable here in Chicago. Corey Harvey, I would say Johnson at number 9. Foskey, I think he meant 53 there. Banks 61 is my first and second. What's your take? I mean, a Paris Johnson, Isaiah Foskey, and Deontay Banks trio to start your draft would be pretty solid. I mean, Banks, I think, has starting potential. He's got really good athletic traits. Foskey as an edge, I think he would start here, and Johnson would start at either left or right tackle. So really good chance you're getting 3 starters there. And I'll say this. If the Bears don't trade any of their first 4 picks, 9, 53, 61, 64, at minimum you need 2 day 1 starters, if not 3. You'd like to get 4, but you got to get guys that can play right away. Couple more here. Joe Sports Fan reports that the Bears will play the Chiefs in Germany. Will international game help Bears instead of going to Arrowhead? Yeah, I have seen that out there. David Kaplan, that has not been confirmed, I don't think, at this point, but that'll be a fascinating international game if it ends up being the case. You got this up-and-coming Bears team going up against the defending champs. That would be an electric environment in Germany. I know we have some European fans here on Bears now that maybe they could travel to that game, so who knows? Arrowhead's a fun place to play as well. If the Bears have any chance of beating the Chiefs, it would probably be in Germany compared to Arrowhead. So, you got that working for you. Nicholas Ritchie, I know y'all talked about Puna 4. Can he play 3-tech? Would the Bears be interested? He's not really a 3-tech. He's more of a bowling ball 1-tech. Doesn't mean I'm not interested, though. You could go kind of with a platoon at 1-tech with him and Andrew Billings. One tech's got to rotate out a lot. They're big boys. They're not playing 90% of snaps. So I would like a Ford and Billings combination. Appreciate all the questions here. If you have more, you can DM me on Twitter and Instagram at HGramNFL. Always down to chop all things up Bears over there at HGramNFL on Twitter and on Instagram. Appreciate the questions. Show me some love over there as well if you have any more questions. All right, we'll get some shout-outs here, and I think we owe a couple super chat things. We got Wasim with a 10. That was a sip. Yeah. Give me a sec, guys. Got to replug my mic.
I'll give some shout-outs out there. We got Kevin Poppy saying W. He's a White Sox fan. FGB says Cubs. Michael Darbartolo says Cubs. Let's see here. We got William Bumer with W. Notorious TBG says the White Sox. Matt Nagy says the Royals. F. Matt Nagy.
F. Nagy in the chat.
Peloton says St. Louis. Wow.
Am I cutting out again, or are we good?
You're good. You never cut out.
Okay.
You were just really low and you shouldn't have been, but it's fixed now. I can already tell.
Is that cut going to be all right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I poured that one for Wasim. Here's a sip for Ken as well. And I think we're caught up on that front. Shout out to everybody who super chatted. We're $20 away from another FGB on the arm, so actually we're $40 away. 162 combined, so 38 away to be exact from the first stream in this one. If anybody wants to do that. Coming up next, we've got Let's Go Reds in the chat. All right. Paula says, Harrison, did you get my super chat? I did not, Paula. I don't think. I did not get it, Paula. I will say this, Paula, or anyone else. If anyone's having super chat issues, or if you really want to take the next step to support the show, you can also Venmo me. There's our super chat menu. $10 for pouring a sip into the boot off the chug at the end. It holds 3 beers worth. $20 will spin the roulette wheel, which we still owe that wheel spin, Rolly.
Yes.
$50. You can get a sticker on the Justin Fields boot. We got plenty of people on here. You can join them. Every 100 total, got to put FGB on my arm. I've already done it once. 1,000 total. The bosses have to buy me a baby Justin Fields jersey for my son who's going to be born in the next week. So if you guys want to donate to the baby fund, people earlier were doing diaper donations. So, hey, we wouldn't say no to any of that. Helps support the channel. Appreciate all the support. Zachary, he gets a sip in the boot. Shout out Zachary. He says, how would you feel if the Bears traded back with the Titans or someone in the teens and got someone like Nolan Smith to build up the D-line, try and snag someone in the second round for O-line? I wouldn't be opposed. I do wonder if the Bears view Nolan Smith as a fit. He's kind of more of a prototypical 3-4 edge. He's an athletic freak. I would consider him. I do wonder if the Bears feel like he's a fit.
Steven Rosinski.
He says, does Rolly have a sticker?
I don't.
He does now.
Wow, Steven. This might be the best day of my life.
What a gent and a scholar, Rolly. A true gent and a scholar.
Steven's 1, the GOAT, and 2, one of the kindest guys. He gave PJ a sticker.
I know.
And then he gave me a sticker. What a nice guy.
What a gent.
And
Where should the Rolly sticker go? How about this, Steven? Where does the Rolly sticker go? Does he belong on the front somewhere? There's a little room on the toe still. Or do we put him on the back? That's up to you, Steven.
Wow.
I got the chat pulled up. Where does the Rolly sticker go? Front, back, or side?
Steven Rosinski.
You have gender details. Yes, it's a boy. Peter James.
He said next to PJ.
What an honor, Rolly.
Oh my goodness.
What an honor.
On the first sticker, put on the boot after PJ.
That's a historic moment.
Wow. I just feel so good about myself right now, and that's just all because of Steven. I love you, Steven.
Rolly, there he is. Rolly's there, PJ's there. The dynamic duo, some might say.
Oh, I love Steven.
That's electric.
That also put us at 221.
Oh, that's FGB
which means
on
another
the arm.
FGB on the arm.
Let's go.
Whoa.
We got 2 on there.
FGB.
Got 2 on there.
I guess now's a good time to do our wheel spin too, I suppose.
I've always said I'd never get a tattoo, but getting FGB would be on the Mount Rushmore of ideas.
That would have to be, I think.
It'd be up there.
No, I think that would have to be in your top 3.
Definitely would be up there. So, put him under the boot like Woody.
Wow.
That's pretty.
What's up with that, Jesse? Come on.
That is something. Hey, listen, Steven's trying to get that baby jersey. He is.
We're
There's no doubt about it.
22% of the way there.
Right as that came in, I was mentioning Venmo as well. If anyone wants to Venmo, at @HRAMNFL on Venmo.
Bottom of your screen.
There it is. It's in there. All right, Rolly, let's spin the wheel. Then we'll get to daily basis super chat.
It's spun.
Here we go.
And the wheel is spun.
Oh! Shot clock subs. We'll just remind you guys to subscribe to the channel. I'll tell you what. While I'm out, my goal while I'm out is for us to reach 65,000 subscribers. I don't know if we'll get there while I'm out. We're at 64,405. Can we get to 65K by the time I'm back? I should be here through the end of the week unless my wife goes into labor, which I don't think will happen based on what how our appointment this morning went. Paula says, where did my $10 go? I got to be honest, Paula. I don't think it actually sent. Unless it was on the last stream. Did you send it on the last stream, Paula? I can go back and look after this stream, but if you actually submitted it, it would have popped up in here. It's not like YouTube's going to just erase it. Matt Nagy saying, Paula, we're not trying to rob anybody. I'll tell you what, Paula. If you actually think you sent it, oh, here we go. It says, send a $10 super chat and told you I would buy your son an Ohio State outfit and you have to wear it and you take a picture of him in it. Listen, Paula, if you buy the outfit and ship it to me, you can DM me at HGramNFL. We could send you an address to ship it to. I'll make it happen if you buy the outfit. My wife won't like it. She doesn't like Ohio State. But if you ship it to us, I'll put it in. I'll put it on them and we'll take a picture. We'll make it happen, Paula. She said maybe.
That's funny.
But I got you, Paula. If you want to DM me at HGramNFL, Twitter or Instagram, we can put this in motion. We can make this happen. We're not robbing anybody. Don't listen to Matt Nagy in the chat.
Matt Nagy's fake
shitty
news.
Coach, shitty commenter.
Steven says he's going to get a Notre Dame outfit then.
If y'all are shipping up, hey, we can't get enough gear. That's all I'm saying.
I'll say this. Notre Dame is as fitting as it gets for Chicago Bears outside of Northwestern, maybe?
I mean, they've got, 5 Notre Dame players on the team? I'll tell you what, Paul, I'll pour a sip in there too. I didn't see the super chat, but, we'll try to make it happen. She said, I think maybe it was the last stream. So if that's what happened, I apologize. But I've read your comment now, and like I said, you can hit me up and just say, hey, it's Paula from the stream, and we can go from there. Daily with the 5 says, any players on the Bears that have the potential to be number 1 in the NFL at their position? We'd all like to say Fields, but I think Eddie Jackson and Tremaine Edmonds could. Yeah, I mean, look, if Justin Fields becomes the best quarterback in the league, then this team's going to win Super Bowls, plural. Let's not get too unrealistic, though. If he's top 10, this franchise is in a great spot. Eddie Jackson, he was having a hell of a year last year. Before he had the injury, he was one of the best safeties in football. He had 4 picks in, 9 games? He was ball hawking, playing really well. Tremaine Edmonds, can he be the best linebacker in football? He's got a lot to improve. I was going to say, actually, at daily basis, how about Jaquan Brisker as a strong safety? He was one of the best rookies, period, in football last year. So maybe among strong safeties he could get there. But it's a good question. I don't think DJ Moore could be the best football in the NFL, but it's hard to have the best at a position. There's only so many positions.
I mean, there's just so many good wide receivers with DJ Moore. He's probably the best overall player on the Bears. Would you disagree with that? I mean, he's very good.
Yeah, he's one of them. I mean,
Maybe Edmonds.
So what?
Maybe Edmonds.
I would go Eddie Jackson over Edmonds. I think he's more accomplished, although Edmonds is very good. But, yeah, I mean, and I think the point we're making here is this is how you build a football. You got to find blue-chip players. Like, the good teams have half a dozen, 8 blue-chip players. Like, you think of, like, a team like the 49ers. Like, if they could just figure out quarterback, like, they have so much blue-chip talent that they've been able to go to conference championship games with Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy and, you know, this and that. So that's what Ryan Poles is trying to do. He's trying to find more blue-chip guys. So that's what we're having to do. Steven says, now I have to get a Twitter account. You can do IG. Instagram works. Paula said, I didn't listen to him. What the address? I'm not going to throw the address out here on the stream because then I'm going to get shipped with 600 things. But hit me up on Twitter. I'll drop my link in there, or Instagram at HGramNFL. I honestly check Instagram more, so I would prefer that, but either way is fine. Putting both in here real quick. There's Twitter, Instagram. We can DM there and figure it all out, so let's make it happen. Right there. Okay. You ready for the next segment? What we got coming up here? McShay reaction? All right. We're going to react to Todd McShay's latest mock draft. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Forgot about this. We're going to react to McShay's latest mock draft. So here we go. Let's get into it here on Chicago Bears Now. Before we jump into today's episode of Chicago Bears Now, Giants Now, F. Marsh is in the chat. They got 114 subscribers on yesterday's video. Can we beat that number on today's video? I can't be losing to Marshall Green here on Chicago Bears Now. He was rubbing it in my face. I got $3,000 in super chats. I was taking a beating in the office. Can we beat that number? Subscribe. Daily content coming your way here on Chicago Bears Now. You're watching Bears Now by Chat Sports. I am Harrison Graham. And coming up on today's show, Todd McShay released his first 2-round mock draft of this draft season. I think it's his 4th mock overall, but first time he's gone beyond the first round, which of course means the Bears will have 3 selections in this mock draft from Todd McShay. So we're going to break down the picks he made for the Bears, talk about each selection, and kind of give our overall thoughts on how we feel. So McShay's mock draft, kind of the details of it beyond the 2-round mock. Obviously, the Bears have 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, number 9, number 53, and number 61 overall. Some of the Bears' top needs include O-line, D-line, corner, and more. You could just add talent pretty much across the board, but I would say those are the top 3 needs going into this draft later this month. All right, let's jump into it here. At number 9 overall, he did make a few trades in this mock, but none of them were involving the Bears. Peter Skoronski, the offensive lineman out of Northwestern. He's obviously been a popular mock pick to Chicago during mock draft season. And look, he has pros and cons. We've kind of talked about this quite a bit. A pro, he's very technically sound. I think he's the most technically sound offensive lineman in this draft. The footwork is excellent. The technique to block is good. He knows what he's doing out there, so that's good. He's an excellent athlete. He tested well. He can move. He's quick on his feet, all that stuff. He plays with great play strength. You know, you're not going to bull rush this guy. It's part of the reason why teams think he can kick inside and play guard in the NFL. The one con, he has short arms. Pretty damn short arms for an offensive tackle, 32 1/4 inch. Like Caleb McGarry is about, and I forget the other current offensive tackle. I guess his former teammate Rashawn Slater. They're kind of the only 2 guys in the NFL that have had great success with short arms at offensive tackle. It can be done. It's just hard to do to reach out for some of those longer edge rushers. You look at his PFF grades. This kind of goes to his technically sound ability and just his overall talent. He was really good. Gave up just 1 sack. He's great in the run game. He's better as a pass protector. Gave up just 2 hits and 3 hurries. Peter Skoronski is an excellent prospect. But we also know the dilemma. He has great tape. The production's awesome. He looks the part. But can he play offensive tackle, especially left tackle in the NFL? I don't know. I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he can. I don't know the answer to that question. Ryan Poles has to answer that for us. I do know this, that Poles is a big measurables guy. Will his short arms eliminate him for consideration as an offensive tackle for this team? I'm not sure. Could he move him to right tackle? That's kind of on paper the big hole right now. Now, I do think the Bears could easily draft a left tackle and kick Braxton Jones over to right. Matt Eberflus acknowledged that that is an option. He thinks Braxton Jones can play over there. And look, as good as Braxton Jones was as a rookie, you got him in the 5th round. If you're taking a guy at number 9 that has played primarily left tackle and you think that's his best position, you're probably moving Braxton Jones over there. But Peter Skoronski is an interesting case. It's the classic tape versus measurables question here. And, you know, it's a real thing. I'm not just throwing shit on the wall and hoping it sticks. Like, scouts and GMs, they say this stuff. Like, you got to have 33-inch arms to play in the NFL. That's kind of the unwritten rule. He does not. Can he break that rule? Yeah, I think he could. Would it be safer to go Paris Johnson? Perhaps. I'm not sure. I think Skoronski's a safer overall talent, but for a left tackle, those are things you have to consider. Are you comfortable drafting Peter Skoronski at number 9 overall? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I honestly am, because at worst, you kick him inside, and he's a damn good guard. He could be like Zach Martin. I really do think that. You need good football players. So if the Bears took him there, I would have to trust that he was the highest player available on their board, and I would be comfortable with that at the end of the day. Next up in Todd McShay's 2-round mock draft, Zach Charbonnet, the UCLA running back at number 53 overall. This is an interesting one because I think Charbonnet is kind of in that second tier of running backs beyond Bijan Robinson in that second-round range. We'll kind of break down that selection here in just a moment. But if you love the NFL draft, and I know a lot of you guys do, go subscribe to our draft-only channel. It's youtube.com/chatnfl. We're publishing content over there all the time, multiple videos per day, straight-up NFL draft content, some Bears draft coverage over there as well. Don't miss out. youtube.com/chatnfl. 3.5 weeks or so until the NFL draft. Don't miss a video over there. Okay, Zach Charbonnet, really productive season for UCLA. 1,400 yards almost, 7 yards per carry, 14 touchdowns. He played in that Chip Kelly zone read offense. You know the Bears are going to employ some of that with Justin Fields, so he's comfortable with that. He's also a downhill runner. He can hit that outside zone as well, which we know the Bears running game does that quite a bit. Here's Todd McShay writing about Zach Charbonnet here. He says, the Bears have brought in Deontay Foreman with David Montgomery off to Detroit, but I like the value on Charbonnet at this point in the second round as another contributor in the run game. He's a patient runner with good contact balance and can be a 3-down back in the NFL, even though he lacks breakaway speed. I like Charbonnet a lot. I do think late second, early mid-third could be the range for him. But I think for the Bears, where they're at right now, it does feel a bit early. Like, if you're going to take him here, he's got to be clearly the best player on your board. Because if you went into the season with your current running back depth chart, I think you're fine. Now, it's a good running back draft. I'd like to add a back in this draft. But Khalil Herbert and Deontay Foreman as a 1-2 punch is more than capable. Travis Homer can be your scat back. Treston Ebner is a special teams guy, and Kari Blasingame is a fullback. You don't have to force the issue at running back. Now, it's a great running back draft. I love Bijan Robinson and wouldn't completely dismiss the idea of drafting him or someone else in the second, third, fourth, fifth round because there are guys there. But Charbonnet at 53, it's just like, I don't know. Like, 64 maybe after you've added another trenches player. But again, if it's a BPA situation, best player available, I couldn't really gripe against it, but it just felt a little bit too early for my liking. Now, what do you guys think? Should the Bears draft a running back in the first 3 rounds? Type D for draft or P for pass. Again, I'm open to it. I do think you have bigger needs to fill, but got to balance that BPA versus need thing. D for draft or P for pass. Round 2, pick 61, as we wrap up Todd McShay's 2-round NFL mock draft. Byron Young, the edge out of Tennessee. You get him here at 61 overall. Productive season for the Volunteers last year. 37 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. I think he can be a solid rotation guy as a rookie. I don't know if he's a for sure starter. For this team, he probably is, based on what they have on the defensive line. But that's neither here nor there. Here's Todd McShay on Byron Young. He says he had 7 sacks in his final season at Tennessee, and his 36 pressures tied for 22nd in the nation. He quickly redirects and has an explosive lower body, but he's still raw when it comes to technique. Again, this is not a great defensive line, so you need guys there. Byron Young's a little undersized. He's like 6'2", 250. The weight's not a huge problem. 250's fine, but 6'2's a little smaller. Like I do wonder if he's more of a 3-4 outside linebacker in the NFL. But again, you need pass rushers. Byron Young can do just that, and I would certainly be open to him here. I do wonder, again, kind of like Charbonnet, is it a tick early? Byron Young, I've seen him go round 3 in a lot of mock drafts, and he goes 61 here, so I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'll be honest, in general, I didn't love this haul from McShay. Like, I think it's decent. I think you fill a couple of needs, but I think I would have gone in a different direction in a couple of these picks. Now, what's your favorite pick from McShay for this 2-round mock for the 3 picks for the Bears? If you think it's Peter Skoronski at number 9, type PS. If you think it's Zach Charbonnet at 53, type ZC. If you think it's Byron Young at 61, type BY. I think I'd go Skoronski because he fills a need and he's a pretty safe pick overall in this draft. Like, he will be a high-level starter at some position, I believe. Let me know, PS, ZC, or BY. Now, subscribe to the channel. We'll continue to bring you guys some draft coverage as we get closer and closer to the 2023 NFL Draft. So be sure to do that. And for more draft coverage, not just around the Bears, check out our NFL Draft Only YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/chatNFL. You can find more coverage over there as well. All right, Matthew says PS. Steven says none. Jesse says none. Yeah, I didn't love it either, guys. Like, I just, I don't know. McShay's a little spotty. Like, Byron Young, it's round 2. Charbonnet, good player, but your second pick, I don't know. I don't know. McShay is no Kiper. Kiper's kind of a boomer too, Honestly, the best draft analysts, I would say, like nationally, I think it's Daniel Jeremiah as a TV personality. And
I like Jeremiah the
best. And then Dan Brugler on the written side. I think those are the 2 best in the game. I
like Jeremiah a lot.
Tom Downey, close third.
Good answer.
Downey actually puts in a lot of work. Like, yeah, he's honestly better than McShay and Kiper, I would say. So, yeah. We like reacting to these big national guys when they drop mocks and whatnot. So, didn't love it. Did not love it. Okay, we'll jump into another mailbag here. Don't think we got any more super chats here. So, hashtag Bears or super chat to get on today's live
We're gonna need
show.
some more questions. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we need more questions. Rolly might intentionally kill the stream this time if we don't get more questions. Last time the software crashed, but Rolly might tank the stream this time.
That was a disaster.
We were rolling too. We really were. Damn,
I'm still kind of reeling.
We're doing all right. Hashtag Bears super chat. He says Downey's good. Not a fan of some of his Bears picks, but I understand them. Hey, man. Someone said I just drafted a better draft than Kiper. Yeah, you can do that in about 8 seconds on PFF's Draft Simulator. So
it's not hard. It is not hard.
That just wasn't a great haul from McShay.
Oh, yeah. I felt like Charbonnet was a reach. I don't hate Byron Young as one of the 2 second-round picks.
He's fine.
It just feels like if you're going to use a second-round pick on a running back, I want it to be like one of the more explosive A-chains.
Like A-chain or Gibbs.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather take someone in the 4th than take Charbonnet at 53.
Give me McIntosh in the 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm really high on him. I know some other people aren't. I think what someone said, his athleticism is kind of lacking, but hey, I'm all in on McIntosh.
Yeah. All right, if you were coming in, hashtag Bears or super chat. Get to a mailbag here. We'll keep this thing rolling. So load them up, hashtag Bears or super chat. We'll get to those questions. What's up? Something just happened? Oh, no. Gonna get into this mailbag here in a second. Oh, Elijah Wilkinson, Bears legend, just got signed by the Cardinals. Yeah, he sucks. Wasn't he actually decent last year for the Falcons, though? Not really. Yeah, he was terrible in Chicago. He was terrible. Who's moving graphs in here? Did the light fizzle out? That is brutal. That is brutal. We're 75 bucks away from writing FGB on the arm again. 10 bucks to get a sip in the boot. I'll have to chug this at the end of the show. 20 bucks will spin the roulette wheel. Also, every 100 likes. We're 53 likes away. And then get to 1,000 total. Bosses buy my son a jersey. Are they still moving? Oh, my goodness. Do we have a list on this cut? We can just start it. Oh. Yeah, trying to flash the super chat menu, but someone moved graphics in here. You guys probably don't know what that means, but it's been a technical difficult
We're
day.
back.
We're back?
We're
not back.
No, we are back.
We're back. All right. Here's the menu. 10 bucks, we get a sip in here. I chug it all at the end. Plenty of room. 20 bucks will spin the roulette wheel. 50 bucks, you get a sticker on the Justin Fields boot. 100 bucks, every 100 total, I write FGB on the arm. 1,000 total. Boss buys a baby Justin Fields jersey. Son's going to be here in the next week.
All right, Harrison.
We'll make it happen.
So I have the culprit. Without looking at production, who do you think moved the graphic in here?
So normally I would say Trace, but I know he's live on Niners, so I'm going to say Will.
Bada bing, bada boom. Will Scott has done it again.
Will Scott, that's 50 push-ups.
That is not the first,
50 push-ups.
but the second time Will has moved graphics during a Bears live.
I think he crashed the stream.
He might be shadow banning us.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, goodness. You hate to see it. I'm seeing some debates in Slack now about it, but all right, let's hop into this mailbag. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. And you got it. What's up, Braden? Wait, Braden is actually... This is the Laura... Wyatt. Braden is Wyatt.
It's Wyatt?
I think it's Wyatt.
I don't remember. I'm so lost in the sauce.
I think it's Wyatt.
He's been asking what about baseball season. He doesn't have any football questions.
Yeah.
He only cares about the Cubs.
Yeah.
Or White Sox.
Hey, you relax over there. Got a lot of people in the chat.
I'm saying.
Who's your squad, Braden? Who's your Wyatt? It's a struggle bus. Haven't even really been drinking yet, so he's a Cubby. All right.
I am fascinated by who actually moved
Rosinski
the
says,
graphics.
"Who is Will Scott? Let's get him."
Okay, so here's the thing. Only listicles were moved, and it was a Cowboys listicle.
Tommy Hot Seats.
But it could have been a free agent listicle, so I'm not quite sure who did it.
We've got controversy.
Brett said Will did. Jack says Will and him are filming right now, so I don't know what's going on.
Before we start, I got to get this laptop charger. Laptop is dying.
Oh, jeez.
We're running on fumes here. I need a pick-me-up, fellas. I need a shot. Rosinski, make me take a shot. Let's go. Oh, man. Wyatt's a Cubs. Chet's a Sox guy.
Did you request this?
Yes.
Who shadow banned us?
Dude, Will was trying to move in here when he was moving into DD, so it was him.
It was Will?
What's he filming? What was the listicle?
It was,
Dolphins.
but it was
said
a
it was
Cowboy.
Cowboys.
It was a Cowboy listicle. So it might have been a target.
Well, might have been like a template issue, I don't know, but there wasn't anyone out there. So.
Wrong side. Gotta plug this puppy. Plug me in down here,
I
Coop.
gotcha. What's
Appreciate
going
that.
on the Bears?
Well, it's stream number 2 because live stream crashed. We're getting shadow banned, but we're having fun.
Crash?
Oh, yeah.
Disaster.
Major shadow.
Just
The
disaster.
entire thing.
Chris
Not
says
even
he's got to
Wi-Fi.
go.
I had to shut down the computer. The entire computer just went kaput.
Disaster. Shout out Coop for bringing me my charger. All right, Rolly, let's get into this sack here on Bears now. Oh, wait! Steven! Yes! I needed this, Rolly.
Hold
I'm
up.
taking-
Wait a minute.
I'm taking both. Wait a minute.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I'm double dipping for Steve. Shout out Steven. He's the MVP today. He's trying to get this jersey for my son. But he's riding that train solo. Shout out Steve.
Ron Solo.
Jason Derulo is a cornball, but he had some bangers back in the day.
Dude, early 2010s, he was going crazy. Steven says F. Will Scott.
Dude, they
F. Will
TCU brought him
F.
to a campus concert my sophomore year. It's kind of legendary.
TCU?
Yeah. It was something, man. They get someone every year for like the annual concert, and it was Jason Derulo. So this is like a couple years after his prime.
Interesting.
Classic fall from grace. Like, oh yeah, I'm playing at campus concerts now.
Well, at least your campus had concerts.
They didn't do that at Bonaventure.
I don't think they could get anyone to go up there.
Get it on Chimble. Get it.
They
get
did
to it,
have
Chimble.
Sean Kingston way back in the day, but I'm
Ooh,
pretty
that's-
sure that was like the last one.
That's kind of electric. You could do worse.
That was like way back in the day. Oh, beautiful
All right.
girl.
Oh, right when we were going to start the next mailbag. Mr. Richie with the 10. Let's just start the mailbag with that.
Okay.
You down? Richie, we're starting the mailbag with this. There's your sip. And it's mailbag time. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham. It's mailbag time, so get your questions in. Hashtag Bears, Super Chat. You guys know the drill if it's your first time watching. We do these mailbags live on our shows on Tuesdays, so don't forget to subscribe. Mr. Richie with the $10 Super Chat says, Bears should trade down again to get more draft capital. It gives us more flexibility, and we can have some studs on rookie deals when we really start to compete. Listen, I'm not opposed to trading down again. Now, eventually you need to make a pick. You need good players, but yeah, like you got to build with good players, but you also got to build out some depth as well. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine with trading down. From Zach with a 10, shout out to you. How would you feel if the Bears traded back with the Titans or someone in the teens and got someone like Nolan Smith to build up the defensive line, then try and snag someone in the second round for the offensive line? I like Nolan Smith a lot. I wonder if the Bears think he's more of like a 3-4 edge and doesn't fit this scheme, but he's explosive. He's an elite run stopper with some pass rush ability. If he could improve as a pass rusher, I would like him even more, but he's had a great pre-draft process. He's kind of an opposite of Jalen Carter, right? Jalen Carter had a great season, but his pre-draft process has been a disaster. Nolan Smith got hurt, missed a lot of the season, but his pre-draft process has been great. So they've kind of had the opposite spectrum there, but like him as a player, do the Bears view him as a fit? That remains to be seen. Daily basis, any player on the Bears that have the potential to be the number one in the NFL at their position. We'd all like to say Fields, but I think Bojack and Edmonds could. Yeah, I mean, look, if Justin Fields ever becomes the best player in the NFL, watch out, because Lombardi trophies are coming to Chicago, baby. Eddie Jackson, I think at his best, and we saw some of that last year, is one of the best safeties, especially free safeties in the NFL. Tremaine Edmonds, I think, could be a very, very, very good linebacker. He already is. Can he be the best? I don't know, but you need more blue chip players. That I do know. Aviato, if Bijan Robinson is the top player on the Bears draft board at number 9, why not draft him? Listen, I'm coming around to the idea more and more of just stick to the big board, man. You need good players. If Bijan's by far the best player available when you pick at 9 and you don't trade down, I got no issue drafting him. You would have him for a minimum of 5 years on a rookie deal, probably 6 if you wanted to franchise tag him, and you could get a lot of production and a lot of good usage out of him. He's a safe pick in this draft. assuming he stays healthy, which he has no injury history. I think he would be instantly a top 10, maybe top 5 running back in the NFL. You think about a Bijan Robinson, Khalil Herbert, Deontay Foreman trio in this running back room. Treston Ebner, have fun on the practice squad, because that would be electric. I'm open to the idea. I'm not closing that door whatsoever. I think Bijan Robinson is going to be a hell of a player for whatever team drafts him in the first round of the NFL draft, which I do think he will go in round 1. Would you be happy with Bijan at number 9 overall? Type H for happy, M for mad. I understand you have bigger needs, but if he was Poll's best player available, I couldn't really fault it at the end of the day. Pinned comment on today's show, H for happy, M for mad. Would you be happy with Bijan at number 9? Alex, first off, love the show, guys. Appreciate it. Second, in regards to the draft, I don't know how they could pass on Carter or Van Ness to really get that Donald Bosa-type player. That would be a perfect scheme fit. Yeah, I do think Jalen Carter, Lucas Van Ness are great fits. I would prefer to trade down a few spots if Van Ness is the guy they really like. I think they could get him closer to 15 perhaps, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is more in that number 9 range. The Carter deal is what it is, right? We know that situation. He visited the Bears on April 3rd, so, that's up to them as evaluators to determine if they're going to consider taking him. I know you got to get help in this front 4. You just do. You need multiple guys. You're not one player away. You're 2, you're 3, you're 4. Like, you need guys on that front 4 that can rush the passer, stop the run, free up linebackers. You just don't have enough of that right now. Grady McCray, any chance we draft a kicker in the later rounds? Always a chance. I would not do that. I'm definitely open to bringing in an undrafted free agent to compete with Cairo Santos. I'm fine with that, but I would not draft a kicker. Santos is fine. Even if he's not a long-term answer, he can get you through next year pretty easily, I'd say. Christian Piedras, would you take at 9 Wilson or Paris or someone else? I think Tyree Wilson, for me, is a slightly better prospect. Paris Johnson obviously helps shore up that offensive line, but again, I'd probably go best player available, because O-line and D-line are your 2 biggest needs. Whoever Poles has ranked higher on his board, that's who I would take. Do you guys want more Bears mailbags? If you do, subscribe on today's show and prove it to us. If you don't, then let us know that you don't like mailbag videos. We like to get you guys involved in the show, but if you guys like other content better, then we can pivot and not do as many mailbags. So let me know, subscribe, and reach out in the comments. Steven Rosinski, we are more than just one draft away. Have to trust the big board. I think it's a very good point. You can reach a spot or 2, especially after the first round. But again, if you're picking at 9 and your 6th best player on your board is available, you should just take that guy. You told yourself in the homework you did in the pre-draft process, this is the 6th best player in the draft, and he's sitting there for us. You got to trust that. Otherwise, why do you put in all the hours between really the prior year put together? It starts right away. Why even do that if you're not going to stick to your board? Notorious TBG, who is the most likely trade partner for the Bears if someone likes Levis or if Gonzalez is there at number 9? That's hard to say. I will say this. The Patriots have been rumored to shopping Mac Jones around. That tells me one or two things. One, there's just friction between Jones and Belichick and whoever. 2, they want to go after Lamar. Or 3, maybe they like a quarterback in this draft. Maybe if Levis or Richardson or whoever is still there at 9, maybe the Patriots trade Jones elsewhere, move up to 9 from, I think, 14, Rolly? 14. And, you get 14 from New England and maybe a 2nd or 3rd round pick as well. So, yeah, I think they're a team that all of a sudden could be a team to watch out for. Steve Cage, why do you think it's such a bad idea to draft Jackson Smith and Jigba and keep our other receivers besides Velus? We would be crazy explosive. I don't think it's a bad idea. First of all, I've said that I am open to drafting Smith and Jigba. I just, in my opinion, I think if they do draft him, I think they'll probably trade Mooney or Claypool because they're both on the final year of their contracts. And in today's NFL, your number 4 receiver just doesn't have much production. Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool are better than number 4 receivers. They can be 2s and 3s for a lot of other teams. So I think you would probably trade one of them because you're clearly not going to extend Mooney and Claypool if you draft Jackson Smith and Jigba. You're not going to extend 2 good receivers to keep 4 guys together. Like, they're not running the air raid where 4 receivers are going to play 80+% of snaps. That's just not how it's going to work. So, again, I like Smith and Jigba. I would be open to drafting him. But if they do, I would not be shocked at all if Mooney or Claypool got dealt. Arthur Smith, what do you think is the best realistic trade down would be for the Bears? I mentioned that, Patriots scenario a little bit ago. I think Tennessee has shown that they would like to move up. I think they want to move up higher than 9, though, to secure a quarterback. So I think Arizona at 3 or Detroit at 6 or Seattle at 5 could make more sense for Tennessee. But, if one of the quarterbacks falls to 9, maybe Tennessee jumps up and gets them. Maybe the Jets move up a spot. I think Washington at 16 could be a team to watch out for. We've talked about that Pittsburgh scenario where they move up to 9 to get a left tackle and the Bears get 17 and 32. So I think those are a few potential options in that realm. Who is your favorite current Bears player? Favorite one. Favorite current Bears player. And you can't pick Justin Fields. You can't pick Justin Fields. Favorite current Bears player. Drop a name down in the comments. Mr. Inglewood says, disagree. Appreciate the super chat. Our quarterback had us in every game last year. If we plug holes on the offensive line, we will contend for the North, a wild card, and maybe a playoff win. I don't know what you're disagreeing with. Maybe that my philosophy of just sticking to BPA regardless of position, but I don't necessarily disagree with your scenario. Ideally you fix the O-line and you compete for playoff stuff next year, but you're still early on in this rebuild. Like, if the best player available is at a different position, I think that's okay. Now, you can't go 3 rounds without plugging a hole on the offensive line. Like, they're going to prioritize tackle pretty highly, I think. If they don't take one at 9, they'll probably take one in the second round. We have to see how it plays out, but that's just the feeling that I get. LA will trade down to 17, pick up 32, and then get Kalijah Kancey at 17, and then pick Darwin Johnson. Darwin Johnson. Talking Dawan Jones, the Ohio State tackle. I think that's what you mean. I think 32 is too high for him, if that's who you mean. But Kalijah at 17, I think that could be the range for him. So appreciate the question. I actually took Kancey at 17 in a trade down in my latest Bears mock draft. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. Grady McCray, any chance we draft a kicker in the later? Oh, we answered this. I don't think Grady kicker is going to be a player the Bears draft, but I do think a UDFA could make sense. Patrick, I like the draft you did, HG, when you got A-Chain. Yeah, you would have liked this, Rolly. I traded down, got Kancey at 17. Somehow, who's the Tennessee right tackle, Rolly? Darnell Wright, I got him at 32, and then A-Chain, I got him later in the draft as well. So, pretty good draft. I liked that. I like that one. Eric Gibbons, what is your best and worst case scenario for the Bears pick at number 9? Oh, gosh. Best case scenario is multiple guys you like are there. You trade down, you still get them. Worst case is a lot of the guys you don't like are there. You don't get a good trade offer, and you just have to settle for someone. I know those are kind of vague, loose scenarios, but you don't want to settle when you're picking in the top 10. You want to be certain in the selection you're making. So that's kind of a couple of options I would say there. Make sure you guys subscribe. Again, trying to get to 65,000 subs as soon as possible. So help support the movement here. Trying to grow this channel ASAP. Would love to get to 100,000 by this time next year before the 24 draft. So let's try to make it happen. Hit that sub button. Appreciate all the support. All right, who's your favorite current Bears player? Paula says check your Instagram. Let's see. He was trying to reach out earlier. Let's see. Okay, Paula, I see it. I will message you after the show. So if you're still watching, Paula, I will get back to DMs after the show, and we will get that worked out. It looks great. Looks great. Appreciate that. Okay, who's your favorite current Bears player? Mooney. Can't say Fields, by the way. Liam says he's meeting Peter Skoronski on Saturday. Rolly. Liam, can we get a little video asking him about the Bears? We'll throw it on the show. If you make that happen, we'll throw it on the show.
Ask him if he's concerned about having too short of arms in the NFL.
Yeah, if you get a chance to ask him a question, you should say this. What would you say to Bears fans / NFL fans who think you have too short of arms?
Or just say...
We'll give you full credit on the show.
Or you can just say, I've heard you have some T-Rex arms, man. Are you going to be able to play well in the NFL?
Can you confirm? Yeah. Oh, that Mr. Inglewood 10. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I see a 5 from Mr. Inglewood. No 10.
I'll say this. Mr. Inglewood, Jesus. He believes that one good draft and the Bears can compete in the NFC. He was going against Rosinski's that said we are more than just one draft away.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So I'll kind of show the super chats because it happened
back to back.
In the stream that it got separated through a little bit of time. But Rosinski sent in this, you answered that, and then like about 5 minutes later, Mr. Inglewood sent this. So there's kind of a little bit of a disagreement between Rosinski and Inglewood.
Here's what I'll say. I think they're more than a draft away to compete for like really compete, like winning multiple playoff games. But I do hear Mr. Inglewood in terms of the North because Rodgers is gone.
Allegedly.
The Vikings are going to regress. Like, the Lions are a really good team, and they have a good roster. But it's still the Lions. Like, do we trust the Lions to, like, go be a 12-win team? Maybe they'll do it. But, like, if you have a good draft and add a couple more, key pieces in free agency and Fields takes a big step, like, that's the key. Like, if Fields comes out and is a top 10 or 12 quarterback in the NFL next year, that can hide weaknesses. We see it all the time in the NFL. Like, if you have an elite quarterback, some of your weaknesses kind of go away because he just makes up for them.
Steven was more talking about the Super Bowl, and I think Inglewood was just more.
And that's kind of the clarification I'm making. Like, I think there's a scenario where the Bears could win the North next year. Would I pick it right now? No, I think Detroit is the favorite right now. But Detroit's not exact. Like, when has Detroit entered a season with real expectations like this? Like, this is going to be a different deal for them. So,
the players on their team, no. I would say, like, they probably had good expectations back in the prime Stafford Calvin Johnson.
But
Johnson
even then,
days.
they were never favored over Green Bay.
Yeah, but they were expected to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but they're clearly, like, assuming Rodgers is for sure gone, which I think he is, like, they're the clear favorite, I would say.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty clearly. After
finishing 8-9, one game out of the playoffs,
I think they won 6 out of 7 in the year or something.
They either were 8-9 or 9-8. Just missed the playoffs.
They were 9-8.
Yeah, they lost.
They won
didn't
that
get in
Week 18
because
game.
of the tiebreaker. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean 9-8. Goff was returning. They signed a couple good free agent defensive players. Cam Sutton, Jameson Williams, year 2, fully healthy. They didn't really lose anyone. They lost Jameson Williams, or not Jameson, Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams. Yeah.
Swift maybe, and unfortunately David Montgomery. Well.
Yeah. They got Monty now, so we'll see how it all plays out. So, Paul, that's pretty funny. She says it's going to be Paris Johnson Jr. when he is selected. So, PJ is going to be a PJJ fan if that happens. Paris Johnson Jr. So, there you go. All right. We got another segment here that we're going to dive into. We might do another mailbag, but we're going to need a lot more questions if we do. So, get some in during this next segment. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. If you want another mailbag, we'll answer more questions. If not, this next segment will potentially be our last one. So load them up, hashtag Bears or Super Chat. if you have any questions. Today's episode of Chicago Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off plus free shipping when you go to manscaped.com. Use promo code BEARS20 to get 20% off plus free shipping. All their men's grooming products, the best that are out there. I'm Harrison Graham. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. On today's show, 15 NFL draft sleepers for 2023 that I believe the Bears could target, that I think they should target in the middle, latter rounds of this NFL draft. And if you're fired up, if you're excited about the NFL draft, who isn't? Like the video. Hit that thumbs up icon. Let's go. If you're fired up for the draft later this month, all you got to do is drop a like on today's show. All right, let's get to it here. Bears draft sleepers, a player I like a ton. Bryce Ford Wheaton, West Virginia wide receiver. I don't want people to have PTSD from Kevin White, but again, Kevin White went top 10. You can get Bryce Ford Wheaton probably in the 4th round. You're going to see a lot of these photos. They come from MathBomb. I suggest you follow him on Twitter at MathBomb. Relative athletic score. Green is excellent. Yellow is good. Red is bad. No red there. His relative athletic score, 9.98 out of 10. That is flawless. That's almost a perfect maxed out score. Ran a sub 4.40. His agility stuff was good as well. He's 6'3", 221. He's kind of just like a poor man's Quentin Johnston with more speed that you can get in the 4th round. His biggest issue is drops. He has untimely drops, but if he can clean that up, I think this guy has starting potential in the National Football League. One of the most intriguing players in the NFL draft this year, Jake Witt out of Northern Michigan University. We'll look at his relative athletic score first, and then we'll kind of talk about his journey a little bit. Dane Brugler wrote a great story about this guy. 6'7", 302, 22 on the bench. Those are the two red. But remember, 300 to 315, that's kind of where Ryan Poles likes his linemen, so that's not a bad thing for offensive linemen for this team. Look at the athletic traits, though. The guy runs a sub 540. He was fantastic. And what's so fascinating about this guy is out of high school, he was a 2-sport athlete, basketball, football, had scholarship offers for both sports to small schools. He decided to go to Michigan Tech for basketball, averaged like 7 points as a freshman, transferred to Northern Michigan to focus on school. He changed majors that Michigan Tech didn't have, so he went to Northern Michigan. Got the itch, as Brugler decided, or kind of quoted in his article, to play football again. Joined the Northern Michigan team as a tight end. He was forced to switch to offensive tackle mid-game in 2021 against apparently the best defensive line in Division II. Did not give up a single sack or pressure in that game. Played the rest of that season at offensive tackle, I think right tackle. Then flipped to left for his senior year, put on 20 pounds to get up to about 285. Now he's 302. This guy is obviously very raw, is still learning the position, but he is an athletic freak. And like late in the draft, he's expected to get drafted. This is the type of athlete that I could see Ryan Poles taking a chance on. Next up is D. Winters, the TCU linebacker. Had to get at least one Horned Frog in here. But in all seriousness, I think he could be a day one contributor. Obviously, the Bears loaded up a bit at linebacker in free agency with Tremaine Edmonds and also TJ Edwards. But D. Winters, I think, would be a steal on day 3. 14.5 tackles for loss. TCU used him as a blitzing backer in his final year of college. 7.5 sacks, had a couple breakups, had a pick 6 against Michigan in the Fiesta Bowl, for those of you who remember that game. And he's very fast. 4.49 40, tied for 4th among linebackers. I think he would contribute on special teams right away. He could be like a 4th linebacker as a rookie behind Edmonds, Edwards, and Sanborn. He could be that 4th guy. I like Winters quite a bit. I think 5th, 6th round, he makes a lot of sense. Corey Trice, we've talked about him before. We've taken him on a couple of mock drafts. The Purdue corner who's been moving up boards. He could sneak into the 3rd round, but I think the 4th round is probably the sweet spot for him. Really broke out his senior year at Purdue. 5-year college player. Kind of took him a while to figure things out, but had 2 picks, had 10 breakups this past season, played well for the Boilermakers there in the Big Ten. You look at his relative athletic score here from MathBomb. A lot of green, some yellow. His 20-yard split was the only below average time there, but even that yellow 40, still a 4.47 at 6'3", 206. That's really good. The traits are there. The agility, which is even just as much, if not more important than straight line speed for corners, that checks out in an elite category. Vertical jump almost 40 inches, broad jump over 11 feet. I mean, this guy's a freak athlete. He's long, he's fast, and he's got ball skills. This guy could be a starting corner here in a couple of years. Charlie Jones sticking with Purdue. I know you guys like him quite a bit, the wide receiver. Really good production this year after transferring from Iowa. You know, he's not the biggest guy, right? Like, that's where his red rating is here. 5'11", 175. You'd like to see him bulk up a little bit, but good speed, 4.43 in the 40, good in the agility. Just a smart player, too. Knows how to get open, has special teams value if you want to use him as a return man. Good athlete. I think Charlie Jones late in the draft could be a fun player. Do the Bears need another wide receiver? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, type N for no. They could probably get by with what they have, but I do think they'll draft at least one at some point in the NFL draft. Y for yes, N for no. Do you think the Bears need another wide receiver? Well, you may say no to that question, but you'll say yes to Manscaped because they have the best men's grooming products. Breaking news, they have launched beard products in the last couple of months. It's time to tame your mane with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. The sun is peeking back out, which means you'll have to show your face in the daylight once again. So use this kit to make sure that scruff looks award-winning, whether you've got the glorious beard flow or not. Time to clean it up with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. This kit starts off with the Beard Hedger, a waterproof cordless trimmer with a rotary wheel that gives you 20, yes, count them, 20 hair cutting links, all with one guard. No more messy drawers full of add-ons and connectors there. Comes with titanium coated T-blades that are tough on hair but smooth on your face. It's going to lead to single stroke efficiency. The Beard Hedger is a high-tech piece of art in a travel size package with a long-lasting battery, universal charging, and a strong motor. Check it out. 20% off with code BEARS20 when you go to manscaped.com. The full kit comes with beard balm, oil, shampoo, conditioner, scissors. You got the comb, the hedger itself. It's fantastic. I can't wait to trim things up soon in the next couple of weeks. Promo code BEARS20, manscaped.com. That link and promo code in the description and comments of this video. Let's keep it rolling with our draft sleepers. Dante Stills, West Virginia defensive lineman. He didn't test great. We know Poles and Flus value the athletic testing, but very, very productive college player. 137 tackles. He played kind of all over the defensive line there. He's a bit of a tweener, 3-tech edge type, 24.5 career sacks, 53 tackles for loss, 5 forced fumbles. This guy was a game wrecker in the Big 12. Now, again, average athlete, great production. He's got a high motor, which I think on day 3, you want one of two things on day 3. You want guys with proven production or guys who have athletic traits that just haven't put it all together. He's more of the former, like he's produced. Is he a good enough athlete in the NFL? I think he can be a rotation guy. I think on day 3 there's value. Israel Abanikanda, the running back out of Pittsburgh. Listen, this guy has become a phenom in the Chat Sports office. Like, we are all in on Abanikanda here. Really productive year for the Panthers. 1,431 yards for Pitt last year. 20 touchdowns, 20. Now, division has to improve a little bit. He's still a little bit raw, but the production's there. And what really stands out with Abanikanda is his testing at his pro day was just unbelievable. Ran sub 4.4, 20 yards was good, split was good, 10-yard was good, 41-inch vertical, almost 11-foot broad. I mean, he's 5'10", 218 running that fast, guys. I mean, this guy's impressive in terms of a raw athlete. You want to get a guy in like the 4th round to join this running back rotation, Abanikanda could be a fun player. Deuce Vaughn's also a really fun player. Now, he's the smallest guy ever at the NFL Combine in terms of height. He's 5'5", but he did everything for Kansas State. You look at his career for the Wildcats. He did this in 3 seasons, 3,600 rushing yards, 1,300 receiving yards almost, 43 total touchdowns. He's tough as hell. He's not afraid to get, stick his nose in there and grind out some extra yards. He could be a returner for you as well. Catches the ball extremely well. I'm a big Deuce Vaughn guy. He'll never be a 3-down back in the NFL due to his lack of size, but as a 3rd down back rotation guy, absolutely, this kid can play. Andrew Voorhees, if you remember, he was the offensive lineman out of USC that tore his ACL at the NFL Combine and then proceeded to do 38 reps on the bench press. So you know he's tough as hell and he loves football. That's what this Bears regime wants. And he's a good player, right? I mean, you look at his PFF grades, he actually even graded higher in 2021. So he's put 2 good years of tape together for Southern Cal. Played over 700 snaps, 82 overall grade, good in pass pro, good in run blocking. Obviously, the torn ACL is going to have him dip a little bit. I think he would have been a second, third round guy. Now he's probably 3rd to 5th round, depending on how teams evaluate him. But this is a potential starter that you could get on day 3. Now, you probably have to treat 2023 as a redshirt year. He's probably not going to play this year. But he's an interior guy, so the Bears can afford to do that. You think of Cody Whitehair and Lucas Patrick could both be off this roster this time next year. Well, that's where Voorhees comes into play in 24. He could factor in more that year. So I think this is a guy worth stashing, even for a team like the Bears that want to get guys who can help right away. I think in the 4th or 5th round, I would absolutely take this kid. Would you draft Andrew Voorhees? Type D for draft or P for pass. As long as the medicals check out and it's just a simple ACL tear, guys recover from that no problem these days. So D for draft or P for pass. Zach Harrison as well. He's kind of a defensive tackle edge hybrid. Excuse me. I think he'd play more edge in the NFL. But the Bears have seen him up close, being there near Ohio State. He could be an interesting player on this defensive line. Subscribe to Chicago Bears Now if you want more Bears coverage. The link is below, youtube.com/Bears Now. If you want more draft videos, like not just first-round guys, mock drafts, like we're doing sleepers today, if you want some different type of segments, let us know and subscribe. We'll try to do as many segments as we can before the NFL draft. Juice Scruggs, the Penn State offensive lineman, guard center hybrid, has played both spots at Penn State. Played strictly center most of his last 2 years, and especially this year in 2022. Graded out solid. He's not a perfect prospect, but I do know the Bears have met with him. 896 snaps, over 71 overall grade, 73 pass block, 70 run block per PFF. Like I said, the Bears have met with him, so we know there's some interest there. I think you could draft him this year, and he could just be a backup, kind of treat it as a redshirt year as well. Learn, bulk up a bit, get NFL strength, and then, maybe he's a starting center or guard down the road. Keaton Mitchell, one more running back here out of East Carolina. This guy's fun to watch. He's explosive. You look at his numbers, 7 yards per carry, 7.2, 14 total touchdowns, ran a 4.37 in the 40-yard dash, one of the fastest speeds at the Combine this year. I like that quite a bit. Like, if you're going to wait later in the draft to take it back, I think Mitchell is a home run hitter, could be a fun player to draft. He could kind of be a scat back. Like Travis Homer's got that role right now as a special team scat back type. I think Mitchell's got more potential in that role. Zach Kuntz, the Old Dominion tight end, who had a really good year in 2021. He started his college career at Penn State, transferred to ODU in 21, put together some big numbers. This year missed a lot of time, only played in 5 games, but you look at his past 2 years of college production. I like Zach Kuntz. That 21 season's impressive, right? 700 yards and 5 touchdowns for a college tight end. Those are some good numbers. He's a good athlete as well. Again, missed some time this year, but that's okay. Nothing severe. I think he could be a guy that, could be a solid tight end 2, tight end 3. I think as a rookie, he'd be a tight end 3 here behind Cole Kmet and Robert Tonyan. But if Tonyan's only here 1 year, then I think by 2024, he could be your number 2 tight end. Who is your favorite draft sleeper this year? I think Kuntz is a fun one. We've talked about several good ones here on today's show. Let me know from you guys, though, your favorite draft sleeper here in 2023. Keandre Coburn's a fun one as well, the nose tackle out of Texas. He would certainly be a one-tech for this defense, 330 pounds, 5-year college player, had the best year of his career at Texas this past year. Gives you a little bit of pass rush ability as well as a bowling ball type, 2.5 sacks last year, 2 forced fumbles, really good run stopper. Again, I think is a deep rotation one-tech, he has some value. And then Wanya Morris out of Oklahoma, who a lot of people thought needed another year of college football, but he has interesting athleticism, intriguing athleticism, I should say. Started his career at Tennessee, did some okay things there, transferred to Oklahoma, graded out pretty well, just played in 9 games last year, but 77 overall, pass block 74, run block 77. I think he's got starting potential at right tackle. I really do. Now, is he ready to start in the NFL as a rookie? I'm not so sure, but, bring him in, let him compete with guys like Larry Borum and Alex Leatherwood for this team's primary swing tackle, and maybe down the road you've run into a starter here. I think he'll probably go between the 3rd and the 5th round somewhere. Intriguing athletic profile. I think he's a name to keep an eye on. Told you guys at the beginning, if you love the NFL draft and if you're excited, hit that like button. Like this video if you're ready for the NFL draft. It's getting closer and closer, and we're going to be live for a lot of it, so can't wait for that either. So hit that thumbs up icon if you're excited for the draft. All right, we'll get some shout-outs here. Who's your favorite draft sleeper? Let us know in the comments. Favorite draft sleeper. Here we go. Moro Ojimo, that's a good one. Had a good combine. Peloton says Charlie Jones. Favorite draft sleeper. Thomas says Abanaconda. He's been the talk of the office, Rolly, that Pitt running back. They've been talking about him.
That's news to me. I haven't really
Were you not
heard.
involved in those talks?
I guess not, man. I guess
Downey's huge on him.
I have
He
not
ran like
really
a
been involved.
4.3 something. Really good pro day. 20 touchdowns. Broadway's Darnell Washington is not a sleeper. He might go round 1.
If you go in the first 2 rounds, no.
Even
You
early
have to
third.
be late 3rd round to be a sleeper.
Yeah, it's really 4th and later for the most part. Stetson Bennett, Stromberg, Isaiah McGuire. I think McGuire could go in the 2nd round now, 2nd or 3rd.
Would you even consider Stetson Bennett a sleeper? Because everyone knows who he is.
Everyone knows
even
him.
though he's going to go late.
Yeah,
But
I think like Jake Hayner's more of a sleeper.
Yeah.
Like less talked about, similar profile, although he's not 25, he's 22, 23. Riley Moss, decent one.
Oh, Riley Moss, getting super hyped. Dude, I'm pretty sure McShay had him in his 2nd round.
McShay's all over the place.
Like, Riley Moss attempting to be one of the first white cornerbacks in
A while.
a long time.
Yeah. Good for him. Hopefully it works out. Okay. Can we scrape out one more mailbag, even if it's on the shorter end of things? What do you think? We need more questions, folks. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Let's get some questions rolling. Rolly says we're lacking. Tell the people.
I have about 2 questions.
2?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So we're really low.
I see that Charlie Jones one.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Jervon Dexter one from Levante. I see a few.
Where's that one?
Levante, scroll up a bit. He says, Aaron Wilson recently tweeted that Jervon Dexter has a visit with the Bears. Is that not coming up in the software? Are we getting shadow banned?
I don't know. I'll have to take back and look.
Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. Maybe it's only doing the lowercase ones.
No, I got that one. So now I have 3.
Okay, we need more questions. Hashtag Bears or
Actually,
Super Chat.
Levante sent a different one that's way better.
Corey just sent one.
This is a great question by Levante Rogers. It's actually a question I explored on Falcons today.
Oh, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Here's a few. Hashtag Bears, Super Chat. We'll piece this together, Roll Dog. We'll piece this together.
All right. This might be on the lighter side.
Yeah, that's okay. If it's on the lighter side, I'll push it out before the other ones. Hashtag Bears, Super Chat. Let's load up these questions, and maybe we'll have some Super Chat fun before we sign off. So one more mailbag to go. Appreciate all of the support, everyone hanging out. By the way, we're $20 away from another FGB on the arm. We're at 281 combined between the two streams. 281. So if anyone wants to get another FGB on there, that's what's got to happen. So let's make it happen. Here we go. One more mailbag. Let's load up those questions. Mailbag time here on Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham. Use hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. That way, producer Rolly can get as many of them on the screen as possible. Levante Rogers with a question, hashtag Bears. Witherspoon, Gonzalez, or Porter Jr.? I would go Gonzalez, Witherspoon, then Porter Jr. That's how I would order it. I think Gonzalez's athletic profile is too hard to ignore. The ball skills are there as well. Witherspoon might be a tick more technically sound, but I just love Gonzalez's athleticism. Porter Jr. is close, though, too. He's really good. I mean, it's a three-headed monster, and then you kind of drop just a bit. Then you get to, like, Cam Smith and Keely Ringo and guys like that. Donald Lear, do you think the Bears will trade down again? I'd say it's 50-50, Donald. I think there's a pretty decent chance they will, but there's no guarantees. I'll say this. I don't think it would happen before the draft. I think it would be a draft night scenario. I will say that. I'd be surprised if Ryan Poles did something before then, unless there was a player involved again, kind of like the DJ Moore deal, but I would think it would probably be a draft night trade. Corey Redding, are you sold on P.J. Walker as the number 2 quarterback, or should we draft one? I'm pretty comfortable with Walker, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't draft one. Peterman is obviously just he's going to be your practice squad guy. The Bears value him in the locker room, in the quarterback room. I don't think he's a threat to make the 53-man roster. But P.J. Walker is mobile. He's got some experience now. I think I'm fine with him as a backup. But I'm still open to drafting a Dorian Thompson-Robinson, a Jay Kaner, a Clayton Tune, a Max Duggan, even a Stetson Bennett to, be more of a developmental QB3 type that could be a long-term backup. I definitely think the Bears should be open to doing that. Justin Fields is my dad. I didn't know Fields had a kid. If Tyree Wilson, Jalen Carter, Peter Skoronski, and Paris Johnson are all available at number 9, who are you taking? I don't think that scenario will happen where all 4 of these guys are available. I do think 2 or 3 of them could be, though, because I think 4 QBs will go in the top 8. I think Will Anderson will, and then Christian Gonzalez. So that's 6. At least a couple of these guys would likely be available. But let's just say in some pipe dream, all 4 of these guys are sitting there. Gosh. I mean, this is a really tough one, man. I would probably rank it as follows. I would go Tyree Wilson 1, Paris Johnson 2, and then flip the coin, Carter and Skoronski. Carter's the better talent, better fit. Skoronski, safer player, but can he play tackle? That remains to be seen. What say you, though? Who would you pick in this scenario out of these 4 players? If it's Peter Skoronski, type PS. If it's Tyree Wilson, type TW. If it's Jalen Carter, type JC. Paris Johnson Jr., type PJ. Carter's the most talented, but can the Bears afford to take the risk? That remains to be seen. I really want to know how the Bears feel about him. Michael Guzman, everyone seems to believe we're going left tackle at pick 9. Do you think Poles will reach or trust his offensive line background and nab one with pick 64? Or what round are you thinking? I'll say this to kind of just generalize it. I don't think it's a given the Bears will go tackle at number 9. I think it's a strong possibility. But if not, I think 53, 61, or 64, they'll go offensive line. Jalen Duncan is a guy. Matthew Bergeron. There's players in that range that the Bears could get, but don't be shocked if they take one at 9 either. They're certainly going to get another tackle to pair with Braxton Jones. J-Rock, Julius Brent, CB second round. Yeah, 53, 61. If he's there at 64 to start round 3, like it. 6'2", 6'3", over 200 pounds. Good tape, good ball skills, good athleticism. I think he'd be a great outside corner opposite of Jalen Johnson in this Bears defense. Matthew Creel, our Paris Johnson Jr., Carter, and Jackson Smith and Jigman, not the easy pick here for the Bears in that order. Again, the order stuff is tough. I mean, it's so nip and tuck. I don't know. Carter's such a wild card. Like, how are teams going to view him? Do the Bears, do they consider drafting him? I don't know. Is Jackson Smith and Jigba a player they reportedly really like under heavy consideration? Maybe. It's going to be so fascinating to see what the Bears do because I think they could go in about 6 different directions. If you want the Bears to make the playoffs in 2023, subscribe. Don't jinx it. If they don't make it, you're going to look back at this moment of, well, if I just hit that sub button that day, then, maybe it would have been enough. I don't like, throwing bad mojo into the air. Let's see if the Bears can make the playoffs. Hit that sub button. Daily videos coming your way. Nicholas Ritchie, have you checked out Isaiah Land from Florida A&M? Dude had 19 sacks in 2021. I have not. I'll kind of take a mental note here, Nick, and go check him out. I always love these deep sleepers from smaller schools, getting to learn more about them. I have not watched this kid though, so I will see what I can find about him. Raging Oracle, why are you guys not talking about Siaki Ika? Team needs a second nose tackle after they get that 3-tech. I'm open to Ika. I think 3-tech and edge and O-line is just bigger needs right now. And Ika's probably going to go in the second round, so I would prefer to not go 1-tech in round 2. Doesn't mean they won't. They could go Jervon Dexter there as well, but, I just think I'm looking elsewhere. That's all. Christian, a beast. What about Tank Bigsby? He's another one of those backs in the middle rounds that's pretty damn good out of Auburn. Physical runner, breaks tackles, can run away from guys. He's not a burner, but he's got good enough speed. I like Bigsby. I think third, fourth round, that's probably the proper range for him. Arthur Smith, who is your favorite Bears player of all time, and when do you think the Bears will win a Super Bowl FGB Bear Down? I'm not going to sit here and say Walter Payton when I wasn't alive to watch him play. I would say Devin Hester. He was the player that gave me the most joy watching the Bears. The kick return to start the Super Bowl, just electric. He changed the game at that position. It is a crime that he has had to wait 2 years of the Pro Football Hall of Fame to come and go and still not get in. I get it. He is known as a returner, but he is by far the best return man in NFL history. He changed how teams punted the football away. Like, he's that much of a game changer. So I would say Devin Hester would be my top guy, and hopefully Justin Fields tops that, because that probably means he becomes a pretty special player. You know the motto, type FGB in the chat. Let's get it rocking. If you don't know what it stands for, it's F Green Bay. F Green Bay. Let's go. FGB. Get it popping. Saul Asai, did we make the better moves in the NFC North so far? I mean, it's hard to say. I like what the Bears did in free agency. I'd like for them to add a little bit more, but I think they made some sound decisions to help improve this roster, and now the focus shifts toward the draft. Michael Guzman, what team is most likely to take Jalen Carter within the top 10? I think the Lions will take the leap just to throw it in our face. Well, if the Lions take Jalen Carter just to piss off the Bears, then that's bad processing by Detroit. But I do think Seattle at 5 becomes the first team that could do it. Detroit at 6, Bears at 9, Eagles at 10. I think there's a good chance one of those teams takes him. If he gets beyond 10, I don't know where he goes, to be honest. It could be teams could start trading up to take a chance on him at that point. Corey Harvey, do you think that Cody Whitehair will adapt to center? I mean, he's played the position before. If he indeed does make the full-time move and is the starter, then, that's probably maximizing your offensive line, because I think he would be a better option than Lucas Patrick there. I don't think Whitehair has played that well the last couple of years at guard, but I think you slide him inside to center. That helps maximize getting your best 5 on the field. From Peloton, is the pressure on Fields or Poles more this season? I like Fields. Poles, there's no scenario where Poles' job is on the line in 2023. Fields could be, though. If Fields struggles, really struggles in 2023, he probably won't be the guy in 24. Now, if he's good but not great, the Bears can give him another year and continue to develop and build around him. But let's say he takes a step back. If he takes a step back, he's not going to be the starter in 24. They have given him DJ Moore. I think, we're still waiting for them to do a little bit more on the O-line, but they added Nate Davis. I think they're going to get another piece or two in the draft. If he doesn't take a step forward, then the Bears will seriously reevaluate quarterback, and guess who will be doing that? Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles, the pressure's not heavily on him this season. That would probably ramp up the year after. Corey Redding, do we trade our 2 second-round picks for a late first? Look, you never know, right? If there's a player they love and they want to get that fifth-year option available late in round one, then I could definitely see the Bears doing that. You know, they have 53, 61, and 64. That's ammunition to sneak up into the late 20s or 30 or 31. So I wouldn't rule it out. It would surprise me a bit just because I think the Bears are still in a spot where they need some volume of picks, but I could see it. I would not be completely shocked if Ryan Poles made a move like that. Appreciate all your questions today here on Chicago Bears Now. If we didn't get to your question, at HGramNFL on Instagram, at HGramNFL on Twitter. Hit me up over there, and we can answer more questions right there. It's at HGramNFL to answer more questions, or if you just want to talk about the Bears or anything else in general. All right, guys, you know the motto. Type FGB. Get the FGBs rolling here. Get the FGBs rolling. Oh, Patriots hit 1K rolling. There you go. There you go. Get some shout-outs here. Immortal says FGB, Ron, Randy, Sammy, Levante, Cornelius, Scott is in there, Jesse. You got Raging in there, Jeremiah, Jal, Tippy, William, Muhammad, DJ, Green Real Estate, J69. We got Colbers, Levante. What's Nagy doing? Who knows? Who the hell knows? All right. I'm going to throw on a little shot clock here. Do you have the graphic, or should I just do it on here? I can do this first one here. 2 minutes. Remember, no stream next week with my son PJ on the way. So if you want us to hang out a little bit longer live, got to get a super chat in the next 2 minutes. Keep it rolling. We can flash the super chat menu. Otherwise, we're going to get out of here. Been a long stream. 2 minutes on the clock. $30 seconds. Shout out to Kevin who said FGB, JNev, John Davis. Oh, Steven Rositsky. Shout out to Steven. I'll pour a couple of, or I'll throw the rest of this one in here for that 20. Shout out to Steven. I still got to take this puppy down before we sign off. Plenty of room for more. We got one truly down. That's going to be one chug. Shout out to Steven for the 20. He says, FGB, enjoy the baby. Congratulations. Appreciate it, Steven. Let's get the FGBs going in the chat for Steven. Don Burr. You seeing this one, Rolly? He says, your son will be a Lions fan. That is fake news, Don, but I appreciate the contribution. I appreciate the humor. You know, you're our resident Lions fan, so we like to have fun. Shout out to Don. FGB with the super chat. Got to crack open a truly. He says, this one is for PJ. Best of luck, man and dad. Take that bonding time and enjoy it. FGBs all around. I will do that. Be taking about a week off. We'll still have videos that go out, but you guys will probably see a couple of other guys hosting some videos as well. So shout out to you guys. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. We'll run back the clock here. Oh, we're over 300 combined, though, so third FGB on the arm. Here we go. We got 3 of them. Let's see. 3 of them. John Davis with the 10. Is this a late rally?
Harrison, it's his first super chat
First
ever.
super chat ever from John. You see the little sticker, new feature here. If it's your first super chat ever, that's a good point. If you've never super chatted, you get some extra love here today. Shout out John Davis. First super chat ever. He says, bear down. Congrats, HG. John, appreciate the love. That's awesome. We love including everybody. So shout out to John Davis for the 10. Getting another sip in the Fields boot. Making it roll. Let's go. Jesse says you should be chugging Happy Dads, no pun intended. Oh, we're a big Happy Dads company. We were running low, and a couple of our other hosts only drink Happy Dads, so I offered to take some Trulies. But we definitely do the Happy Dads. We definitely do the Happy Dads. Raging Oracle says, LOL, and Harrison thought he was going home. He had the intern warming up the Range Rover. Don't have a Range Rover, but that's funny. Hey, listen, if you guys keep bringing it, Rolly and I will hang out. But we do got to start the clock. Rolly was trying to get it on screen, but there appeared to be some kind of issue. So we got the phone clock. 2 minutes. I think it's a layering issue. Oh, it is. 2 minutes. Nick says someone throw Harrison a baby congrats shot. Hey, man, listen. Oh, we got to spin the wheel. Cross 200 likes. That's another wheel spin. It's another wheel spin. 35 seconds gone. Don says Harrison drives a Ford Detroit, baby. That is not true. Oh, Rosinski. He says shots. Rosinski stops the clock. He says shots. Here's a couple for Steven. Rolly's kind of been left off the hook because his camera crapped out. He may have to come up here if we get more shots. There it is, Steven. Couple of shots. We'll spin the wheel real quick here, see what we land on. Shout out to Steven. Matt Tastic says, what up, yo? What up, FGB? FGB. Nick says, I'm telling you, let Rolly do the live next week. Listen, who knows what we'll cook up? Rolly's always ready. That much we know.
Oh, we got back-to-back 20s from Thomas.
And we got Rolly shots
Kozlowski.
Congrats on the new addition, FGB. If Wilson is there at 9, I don't hesitate. Yeah, I love Tyree Wilson, man. If he's there at 9, that's pretty damn good value. Then Rolly shot. So we'll do a wheel spin for Thomas, Rolly.
Okay, I'll come up on screen in a second. I'm still trying to figure
Rolly's
out
gonna rip a
something
couple
behind
of
the
shots
scenes here. This is driving me insane.
Let me see. What's the issue?
It won't let me edit.
Is it the right one?
Yes. Like,
it's been
I'll show you.
Well, first of all, that extra.
That's 0 at the beginning.
Yeah, that's
which is what it won't let me edit.
It won't let you. Yeah.
Take that off.
That's strange. Yeah, you've done it before. So.
I know. It's driving me insane.
I don't know, man. You can't read only that? It doesn't work that way?
No, it's actually in the editor.
Oh.
And it won't let me click in the text box.
Oh, so you can't change the text either? You're 100% sure this is the same one?
No, it's a different one, but this is for if it's just you.
Oh. Oh, we could 2-box. Oh,
fancy.
Ah.
I'm just trying, throwing shit at the wall and hoping something sticks.
It's all good.
It just literally won't let me do it. It's driving me insane.
Where's the one for the 2-box?
It's this one.
Oh, but your camera's cooked. So, like, the webcam just won't connect?
Correct.
Oh, my goodness. This is just...
Software crashed.
This is a tough scene.
Software crashed and shadow banned my camera in one full swing.
Wow. That's something. Have you tried unplugging your camera? And
I did, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I did it before we actually came back live. Didn't work.
Wow. Torian!
Oh!
Torian! That's another FGB on the wall. He says, to Papa Harrison. I don't know how I feel about Papa Harrison, but, we'll allow it.
Why not?
Congrats, and Bear. And, I feel like that's more of like when your dad's in his 40s.
Nah.
I'm not even 30 yet, bro.
Nah.
You in? All right. Another FGB here.
So it's just all about culture. Some people say Papa.
I call my grandfather Papa.
That's what I called my grandfather.
Yeah. All right, I changed my mind. I'm all for it. By the way, I accidentally marked a little on my thumb. This is not going to be easy to get out.
Nope.
So we got 4 FGBs on the...
I guess we'll go to the wheel before we move on.
Yeah, let's do 2 wheel spins, and then you got to come take a couple of shots.
Yep. Yes.
3 spins now because of Torian. The 200 likes, Torian and Thomas get wheel spins. By the way, guys, I don't, we'll just go to the next spin here. Subscribe to the channel, support the movement. We're going to give you all a bonus spin here. Back-to-back shot clock subs. We're having more fun.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Harry has to
for
take
me.
a shot. That's
All
what I like to see.
2 more spins.
That's what I like to see.
My son calls me Pops now. Yeah, I take back what I said.
Uh-oh. Gotta.
Torian Thomas
video.
almost got a free boot sticker.
Like
the video. If we get to 300 likes, it's another wheel spin. So hit that like button. Like. Hit that like button. All right, let's see.
Yeah.
I'm getting shadow banned.
Yeah.
All right, Rolly. Throw the super chat menu up and come take some shots.
Yeah. Let's go.
By the way, we're over $400 in super chats. We're almost halfway to the baby PJ Fields jersey, which would be electric to make the bosses buy me. We got 300 people watching live still. If everyone sent in $2, we could buy the baby Fields jersey. But we only want people to donate if they can and if they want to. You guys just hanging out, that's really all we want to see. So I got a shot. Rolly's got 2. And, oh, man, you running around. It's just been a rough go. I mean, hey, are you going to Triv tonight? No Triv? You hooping tonight? Oh, look at you being an adult. Does
more responsible things.
Cheers.
I just owe 1 and
You owe 2. 20's 2, man. Steven's, you know how it goes.
No, I wasn't the designated driver.
Yeah. Rolly's got to work out, so if you guys want that workout to struggle, hey, listen, make it tough on them. Make it tough.
I've done worse drunk. In terms of
athletic. Yeah, like winning beer pong games.
Well, I played a kickball tournament, basically blackout drunk.
Oh my goodness!
That was fun.
If you didn't hear that, Rolly played kickball tournament blackout drunk. This is a good question. What happened to Colin? So our partnership with Colin ended. That doesn't mean we can't still go live on Colin. We might still do that in the future. We've just taken a break, but the partnership currently has ended, but that doesn't mean we won't be doing stuff with them in the future or that I won't be doing stuff. I have thought about bringing some Instagram lives back where you guys can hop on and chop it up, so be on the lookout for that. Okay. You guys ready? A little shot clock action. We're almost halfway. Baby Fields jersey, but 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and Connor says shots. Let's get weird. Turn up Tuesday. Listen, Connor. Rolly and I are about it, but studio space is tight today, and people are waiting to film stuff, so it's up to you guys. 2 minutes. Oh, did you figure it out? Oh, no, wrong text. Wrong text. Oh, Rolly. Unbelievable. Oh, well, the clock gets reset anyway because of Steven Rositsky. He says Rolly workout shots. Uh-oh, Rolly. Steven's not playing. Rolly owes 2. Rolly owes 2. Text is late. I was going to say. All right. Rolly's going to come take 2 shots. This camera going out is kind of a pain. So when you try it, you can't connect. Rolly's going to come take some shots in a second. Oh, wow. I see it. Good God. That is just a nightmare. All right. How about you start the clock, and then you can come take some shots while that clock is winding down. We'll get Does it let you edit the text? Or is that still? Okay. All right. Start the clock. Rolly's going to come rip some shots. 2 minutes and counting. I still got to take this down, too. So if you want to see that, $10 to get more sips in there. It's been an experience today. Oh, Rolly left the liquor at the desk. It's a tough scene. He's got to turn around and go back. Tough scene. Connor's chanting, Rolly, Rolly, Rolly. Matt Tastic says, Rolly, Rolly. 90 seconds. All right. 2 shots. It's always a great sound.
What did it look like on here?
What did what look like? Oh, it was just like blinking yeah. Just brutal. Just brutal.
I don't know if it's even possible because it never got touched. The software just crashed. Next thing you know, it wouldn't work.
There's one. Jesse says you should have a bar crawl.
Oh, we've done that before.
Soldier Field says Harrison just got here. Hate that we're going to Germany and expanding to Europe. This is stupid what football is becoming besides already being scripted. I don't think the NFL is scripted, but it is fun to talk about. Rolly's, he's all in. All right, the shot clock will reset because John Davis sends in a 10. John, here's another sip. There's Rolly's second shot. Cheers.
I'll also add this. To reset the shot clock going forward, I will reset it when I get back to my desk. It is minimum $10.
Yes.
That is a new rule we put in.
Yeah, to reset, it's got to be 10 because studio space is tight. We can't just have 1s and 2s, which you guys have been sending in 10s and 20s, so that'll work. That shot clock will be reset. Rolly has taken the steps of leaving his liquor up here because he might be summoned once again. Shout out to John Davis. He's getting the clock reset. There it starts again. We'll get John on screen here. Saying, let's do it. Oh, man. Nick, I answered that question about Colin. Oh, Steve. Bar crawl, I'm in. I'll take these 2 since he didn't clarify. Or how about this? Since Steve didn't clarify, you want to spin the wheel for Aaron? He wants shots. I know Steven. I know him all too well. All right, reset that clock, Rolly.
We had a bar
Cheers.
crawl a bit ago that we did. Harry, you were involved for a bit? I don't remember.
When was it and where did it start?
Actually, I can't remember. I mean, that's the definition of a bar crawl.
My senior year is kind of like a last hurrah. We did a bar crawl in Fort Worth, and you had to have at least 1 beer or drink, like a mixed drink or a shot or whatever, at every spot. We went to 15 bars.
Okay, so that's not as electric as my bar crawl.
That means we had at least 15 drinks, in most cases, 20 plus.
Yeah.
It was something. It was a movie.
Bear crawl, or not bear crawl.
Clock is restarted, by the way.
I remember doing one, started at like 11:30, went till like 7. I think we hit up 6 different bars, basically spent 40 minutes to an hour in each bar. I think that might have got super inflated, though, because we ate dinner at one of the bars.
Yeah.
So we were there for like more hour and a half, 2 hours.
We stopped for dinner at a spot and had a beer there as well. But that food definitely saved us. I mean, there's just no doubt about it.
Ah, jeez.
Bar crawls are fun, though.
They are.
They're a good time.
They're not fun for your wallet when you wake up the next morning.
Jesse says Fireball and apple juice light it up.
I've made that combo before. It's good stuff.
I've never done that. I don't know if you're saying that's what we're doing here, but If I could take a camera into the kitchen, I could assure you that there's not even apple juice in the building. So.
No, but I think he was talking combine the two, and it's a good combination.
Interesting. Wow, that is interesting. Yeah, 15 different ones, Connor. 30 seconds. This could be it.
I'll say one of my
Clock's
favorite
ticking.
drink combinations. It's not Fireball, excuse me. Jim Beam apple with apple juice. Sure, it gets a little sweet, but all it tastes like is apples.
Steven says Harrison's going to be a Papa now. He's going to be dealing with a different crawl. True. It'll take a little time. 10 seconds. This might be it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Kind of depressing that no more ants for March Madness. It's over.
Yeah, those buzzers are awesome.
That San Diego State buzzer beater was electric.
Yeah.
Poor Florida Atlantic. Do you think FAU would have put up a bigger fight? I don't really.
No, you kind of would have steamrolled whoever.
Yeah. All right. I think we're done. So, appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. No jersey being bought by the bosses. We'll try to find another way. Jim Beam Fire is way better than Fireball. I've never had Jim Beam Fire. Can't say that I have. So, all right, fellas. Appreciate everybody. Paula says, what are y'all doing shots of? We got Fireball. He's got the Patron. So, the clock ran out, but I'll give you 20 seconds if you're trying to have Rolly or I take shots. I will say this, if someone sends in, the shot clock gets reduced to a minute because we're well after the buzzer here. But give you all a few extra seconds. Otherwise, we're going to sign off. Again, no live show next Tuesday, at least not from me. Maybe Rolly and someone else will go live. Who knows? We'll see what happens there. We got a lot of other channels we got to focus on too. So I would guess probably not, but you never know. Any final words, Rolly, before we sign off here?
Good luck to you and your wife, Harrison.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Shout out to the real ones hanging out. We'll have videos going out this week, going out next week, so don't worry about that. It's not like the channel is going to go dormant for some time. But starting next week, I will be taking a little bit of time off, and then I will be back. All right, guys, subscribe if you haven't. Like the video. We'll see you guys soon here on Bears Now.